I've had a lot of awesome guests on these streams during DraftKings Best Ball Week. I've had a lot of fun, learned a lot. It's been great. The one thing I have not been able to do is just draft, make my own picks, talk to you guys. Wanted to schedule one of these where I can just hang out, draft some teams on my own, make my own picks, whoever I want. So we're going to do that today. This stream, by the way, is sponsored by DraftKings. I am a DraftKings partner for DraftKings Best Ball Week, which ends tomorrow. They do still have fantastic deals going on. The draft one, get one promotion is still going on. So I'm going to run that ad now, and I will be back with you in a minute. See you then. Football season is right around the corner, and there's no better way to lock in your fantasy dominance early than with Best Ball on DraftKings, where you draft once and ride your roster all season long. And right now, DraftKings is giving all customers a can't-miss offer. Draft one, get one. Enter a lineup in the $15 million Best Ball contest for just $20, and you'll score another Best Ball ticket to play free for a share of $15 million, giving you a second shot to win big. It's easy. Just draft your team once, no weekly management required, and let your top scorers automatically start each week. Across the whole season, every breakout star, every clutch play, every touchdown will count toward your quest for a share of $15 million. Download the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app now to draft your $20 Best Ball lineup and get a second ticket to play free for a share of $15 million. That's two chances to win big without ever setting your lineup again. Draft one, get one. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. All right, we are not going to waste any time right now. We are going to get right into it. So I'm going to go to the $20 DraftKings Millie Maker contest right now. If you want to draft with me, now's the time to get in. There we go. Almost full here. Good to see you. Billy was not planning on drafting today, but might have to join. Hopefully I'll see you in the draft. Billy, very confident last night that he won one of our stream drafts. Jake Tribby, good to see somebody notice the clickbait. I think this is the first time I've used this type of clickbait on any stream. I'm glad that I'm one of your favorite fantasy football millionaires, Jake. Thank you for that. All right, we are picking from the 4 spot here. Don't mind that spot that I like. I see Billy is in the 3 hole here. Good to see you, Billy, in the draft. Anybody else here? I did not announce until 10 minutes ago that I was starting this, so probably not as many of you in here yet. I'm going to do at least 2 drafts here. I might end up doing 3. I'm doing 3 over the course of today and tomorrow. Just kind of depends on the timing. Need to eat dinner at some point, so we'll see how long we go, but I'll be doing at least one more after this one. What's up, Pat? Good to see you. I know Pat's always grinding, also has a full-time job, and yet he's still streaming constantly. Love to see it. I'll have a thread coming out. I've already written it. Going to be posting it probably tonight on some of my favorite 20th round picks, which as I was researching some of my favorite 20th round picks, I came up with some guys that I don't think I've drafted yet. So I'm going to put out a list, and just being honest, some of them are players that I've not talked about, I've not drafted yet, but the more as I put research into it. Pretzels, nice. Just cleaning up the background a little bit. I started really liking some of those 20th round picks that I have not been really into yet. I will tell you, one of them is a guy that they've talked about on the Fantasy Sanctuary quite a bit, and I didn't really get it, and I've heard other really sharp people talking about it also, but Tutu Atwell is a late round pick. He's actually not one of the players that I listed, because I did only players that are under 30% drafted, and he does not qualify there. He's like 85% drafted. But just as I was doing research, he was pretty good last year, and all of the coach speak is really good. My big concern was he's never really been a full-time player. They do not use him more than 30, doesn't run more than 30-40% of routes, but all of the coach speak is we need to use him more. He's going to really ascend this year. It's really positive. So I'm going to throw out those past usage issues and assume that they're true to their word. What's going to be, Billy? Took my guy from me. Do I want CD or do I want Bijan Robinson? I like both quite a bit. I'm going to go with Bijan in this one. I think. It's tough because on the next turn, I don't like the wide receivers very much. I like the running backs there a little bit more. I'm changing my mind. Audible. We're going CD. I do sometimes take Bijan in that spot, but just as I'm thinking about the 2v2, it's like I really am still not a huge fan of Tyreek Hill. Some of the Rashee Rice no longer an option there. So I just think I'm really going to want a running back in that spot potentially. Unless there's a big fall. I mean, if I get AJ Brown or Ladd McConkey, I'd obviously be happy with that and would rather have them paired with Bijan, but don't really see that happen all that often. I think it's a lot more likely I'm going to get a running back there that I like. So we'll see. Billy. Oh no. Would you have autoed somebody other than Justin Jefferson? Because I might have preferred that. GM Bindles. Yeah, got yelled at last night for not talking to chat for a couple of minutes during a stream where I had 3 guests on. somebody was not happy with that last night. So yeah, today just going to be only focused on chat. Not even going to pay attention to the draft. Only chat. It is good just to be able to talk to chat sometimes. Truthfully, like I like doing it. It's fun to have guests on to just hear from a lot of different sharp people, get their takes on different things, and then sometimes it's also just fun to chat with chat. Good question from Pat. With that strategy in mind, what would you cap your Lamb to Bijan exposures to? I would guess. So I don't have a number in mind there. It's not like I'm not trying to set a hard cap. It obviously depends on dynamics where the players fall to. Like if Bijan's falling to me at the 1.9, I'm going to have 80% Bijan, you know. But I think I probably click Lamb over Bijan 65% of the time there because of the 2v2. Something like that. Somewhere around there. In the 12 hole, we got the week 17 game stat going on with Neighbors and Genty. Derrick Henry goes in the first round here. Interesting. I do not believe I have clicked Derrick Henry without somebody else telling me they wanted him yet. I saw JJ Zacharyson was said on Davis's podcast that he wants to have more Derrick Henry than the rest of us best ball bros, probably specifically referring to me, because I think I said on his podcast, me and among other people, I said on his podcast, probably not going to be drafting any Derrick Henry. And I probably will. I probably just don't want him in the top half of the second round. I'll get some exposure when he falls. Derrick Henry and then Chase Brown in the second round for Mamour in the 9 hole. Oh yeah, thank you for that, Debro. Debro says 23 people watching, only 13 likes. That's the other thing that I can do when I have just me on and I'm not trying to talk to people, is just to remind you, please do like the video. It's really helpful for me in trying to grow this channel. If you like the video, if you do subscribe to the channel, and if you can hit that notification bell to get alerts when shows go live, all of that, very helpful to me as I try to grow the channel. Of course, this is the one time that I get Ladd McConkey back to me, and I'm just going to do it. Who knows? Maybe I wouldn't have if I had gone Bijan. There is some better butterfly effect in these drafts. But yeah, I'm going Ladd here. Pepper Tony says, so where will you get your Ravens exposure? Everyone agrees that the Ravens will be a top 3 offense, but nobody wants to take any Ravens. I take a fair amount of I'm Lamar, Zay Flowers. I take some DeAndre Hopkins, Mark Andrews. I don't take a ton of Likely, but for the most part, it's just Likely that I don't take, other than on Lamar teams and Derrick Henry. I feel like I take some of everybody else to some extent. I'm not super high on Rashad Bateman either. He's another one that, like, I probably am not clicking him at ADP unless I have Lamar, but I'll take him if he falls, and then I'll take him on Lamar teams. But also, like, a team can be a top 3 offense and not produce a ton of great fantasy producers because they can spread the ball around like the Bills last year. Like, that can happen where it's just too spread out and nobody really pays off ADP. It's all just a cost game. So I'd take some Derrick Henry if he fell to the 3rd round. If he falls to the second half of the 2nd round, I'm willing to click him there. I think Zay Flowers is fine where he goes. Honestly, the biggest issue for me with Zay Flowers is that I can't get his quarterback after him. So that can be kind of a detriment. So it's a tiebreaker in favor of a lot of other receivers in that range. I do like Devontae Adams quite a bit. Here's a spot, I guess. I mean, the sidekick says I should take Lamar Jackson. Since we're talking about it, maybe I just do it. I'm sort of inclined to go Devontae here. No, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go Lamar Jackson and show you how I get my Ravens exposure. Because Josh Allen went early, so now we're potentially in a quarterback avalanche room. All the Henry and Andrews. Debro just has so much T. Going after those running backs early. I do like Andrews. Mike says, I've been going out of my way to overload on CD. Will be fun to see how you navigate through 60 drafts. I have 36% CD, 53% Pickens. Very much with you on Pickens. CD, like, I kind of mix up my exposures there because it's so early. But yeah, love Pickens where he goes. Debro does, in fact, no ball. Not gonna deny that. Yeah, I'm not saying that none of the players paid off. I'm just saying, like, it can happen that an offense that scores a ton of points does not, like, crush their ADP. Yeah, he could just smash again. Peppertoni says Henry can shed like 50 fantasy points and still justify his ADP on PPR sites, you think? Talking about Zay is 24th among wide receivers in projections for PPR. How close is he to the other ones, though? Like, is there a big gap between him and George Pickens, for instance? Like, if he's gapping them significantly, then maybe it's maybe it is a problem to not take him where there are other wide receivers that you like who have quarterbacks later. But if the spread is not that big, I'd rather just make the correlated bet. Like, if I don't have Lamar, I'd rather make the bet on a different wide receiver who I can get that correlated bet for the playoff weeks. So it really, like, it depends. Like, there are a lot of factors in play here that we have to consider. I really wanted Omari and Hampton there. Oh my! Oh, those are the two. Those are the two picks that I was really hoping would come to me. That is pain. I'm gonna go with Zay. Get my stack. Debro and I fought about Xavier Worthy. Probably the last two streams we fought about Xavier Worthy. Debro has Xavier Worthy ranked in like the hundreds in his rankings, if I'm remembering correctly. You're not feeling the music? I love this music, Debro. I mean, it's no Willie knows ball. Let's get clear. This is not I don't have the trademark on Willie Knows Ball as my background music, but I'm feeling this music. What's up, Tyler? Thank you. Man, this was painful. Omarion Hampton, Xavier Worthy, two of the players that I'm just really trying to get overweight on right now, because I think they're going to move up pretty significantly to a point where I'm probably not going to want to draft them. Tet's still here. I'm going to go with the double stack, though. This could be a beautiful team. I'm liking the way this is shaking out right now. No running backs yet, because as you know, running back points do not count in best ball. Debro does not see Worthy actually being a wide receiver 2 this year. It's not his problem that I'm wrong. It is when you draft with me. I mean, I guess it isn't, because I take your pick every time. So I have not made it your problem yet that I'm wrong. But one of these times, I'm just going to click him and make it your problem. Yeah, Tyler says, if QJ can randomly run hot on TDs and improve year 2, then Worthy can too. 100%. 100%. Like he was good at the end of last year. Yeah, those games did not count for fantasy, but they count for what the team thinks of him. He played well in the playoffs. And Ben Gretsch made a great point on Xavier Worthy when I had him on one of these shows. That like he gets the manufactured touches, which like really raises his floor. Getting those manufactured touches, the team really wants to take advantage of his speed. So he's already got that kind of floor built in with the manufactured touches. And then if they just hit on more of those long balls that just barely missed last year, the floor ceiling combo is really good for Xavier Worthy. Now with Rashee Rice probably missing some time, he has some opportunity there to just take over as a big part of the offense. Somebody, if he can prove himself early on, he could just be somebody they're trying to get the ball to throughout the season. Pickens over Flowers, unless I have Zay. That's just where I'm at. Favorite stack to target is the Vikings. Super in on the Vikings offense. And I don't believe that is just a homer take. I think it's just seeing every quarterback go to Minnesota and succeed, no matter what we thought of them beforehand. Like quarterbacks that we did not think were any good have had success in Minnesota. Now we get a quarterback that they actually wanted, that they went out and drafted him. They traded up to get JJ McCarthy. They're building around him. They've improved the offensive line. I think just KOC, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ, like it's just set up for success in a dome. Everything looks good for JJ McCarthy. So I'm really trying to build a lot of specifically Justin Jefferson, JJ McCarthy, but I do plenty of Jordan Addison, especially now that he's falling. Some TJ Hawkinson, I'm probably about even with the field. It's definitely one that I'm targeting. I do like the Dallas stacks quite a bit. So I'd put them on there. I do a lot of Houston. I am worried about the offensive line. Like it may end up biting me. Debra, I'll do this one for you. Pretty even for me between Trevion Henderson and RJ Harvey. Debra way higher on RJ Harvey. I think way higher. Correct me if I'm wrong, Debra. But I like RJ Harvey in Denver. Should be great. To me, those two are like dead even. I don't have a really strong take there. I think this is our biggest disagreement, D-Bro, is I like players that get better towards the end of the year. You apparently like players that fall off in the second half of the year. Like Javonte Williams didn't break a single tackle in the second half of the year. Let's draft him. It's great that he's not on here to argue with me right now. I can just like misquote him. All right, we are back. Caleb Johnson. I don't have enough Caleb Johnson. I think I'm really high on Tony Pollard. I've already got the rookie upside. I'm just gonna go to Tony Pollard. Play the hits. I'm liking the team. Is it? I don't know. Is this the same music that Josh uses? Am I stealing from him? There's only like 10 options in StreamYard that you can choose from. You can always add music, but like then you have to worry about copyright stuff. This is all stuff that's approved, so I don't know. Yeah, I believe the Super Bowl production was mostly in garbage time. I'm not that worried about it. I think people have noticed that like if I click to read chat, then the board freezes. So I try to like go back and forth. I can't just like stay on chat, which other people seem to have figured out how to make that not happen. So I should probably figure that out. But I want to read chat real quick. Bauer's production was also in garbage time. It's going to have a lot of garbage time again this year. They could absolutely lean on Pacheco instead. D-Bro says, okay. I actually don't think I'm allowed to say that. But sure. Yeah, I got your guy. Harvey. No, that's one that I love. D-Bro, super high on RJ Harvey. Doesn't care if people hate that. No, I like that take. That's one that I'm following you into the dark on. I do think that the Vikings are going to be more run oriented. So yeah, that is a concern, is that they probably will like pass a little bit less. They're setting up to run quite a bit. So that's the one knock on the Viking stacks. I just think they're going to be like hyper efficient. So I think the hyper efficiency outweighs the volume concerns for me. Could go Hawkinson. This is kind of a nice spot to get Hawk. A little bit past ADP. Don't have any other Vikings yet. Doing it. I'm a little bit behind on chat. Even on my own, I'm trying to catch up. Yeah, I am concerned about, excuse me, the Addison TD numbers a little bit. I love players that are bad. This is definitely a Sanders draft. Miles Sanders we're talking about. It took me a second. I'm like, Shador? Yeah, Miles Sanders, my guy. Don't have D-Bro telling me that I can't take bad players. All right. I'd love to see Jaden. I was about to scroll down for Jaden Higgins. Then I see, no, he's just at the top of the sidekick, just where I want him to be. One of my targets this year. Really like him where he's going on DraftKings. This is a little bit of a reach, take him at pick 100. But happy to do so. Not much of a reach. His biggest comp is Nico Collins. He goes to the Texans to play opposite Nico Collins. I just think the upside is awesome. I pushed him, and it's what the sidekick told me to do. Same thing last night happened where I already had a quarterback, and then I had the Dallas double at the point where, right around Dak's ADP. I did get him last night. I picked 117. I think it was in like the exact same spot. So decided to try it again per the sidekick. But I also have like several other quarterback outs if I didn't like, and like Justin Fields is still on the board there. Brock Purdy, a lot of other like elite quarterbacks are still there. So it's feels a little bit safer to be able to push Dak. And then, could always get my guy JJ coming back. I've now set up a CJ Stroud stack. Exactly. Pepper Tony gets it. Miles Sanders, RB1. I'm drafting him like it, that's for sure. Okay, people confirming this is the same music that Josh uses. Yeah, I tried them all out. This is the only one that, felt like fit. Feeding ducks, I feel like everybody else does it, so I get sick of it. Yeah, Rice at 48 feels pretty good. A lot of people are advocating to push him to the 5th round or later. 48 feels about right to me, like where I would feel happy to get him there or later. So, which is right on the 4th, 5th. I thought he's probably going to fall to the 4th round, and I haven't seen that happen all that often yet. He usually goes early. Where'd he go in this one? Pick 31. Like he's moving slowly down boards. And I have not drafted him yet since the news came out of the likely suspension. Yeah, you're right. Pepper Tony's right. I need another monitor. I need, maybe just that. A new desk is what I really need. That's what I was going to say. 4 screens, Best Ball and Call says. All right. I need to clean up and redo my entire office. No joke. Thanks, D-Bro. 48 watchers, only 25 likes. I see other streamers do the thing where they say, like, not going to do it. Like, get me 40 likes and I'll do another draft. That kind of thing. I've already shot myself in the foot. I already made a promise that I'm going to do a second draft, but I still would appreciate it if you would get me up to 40 likes before that second draft. That would be appreciated. We're at a 1-2-5-1 build. Do I just take Dak here? I'm torn between Dak and Mark Andrews, but I've already got Zay, so I don't feel the need to. I don't know who's more likely to make it back to me. I'm just going to go Dak. I just want the quarterback. Bateman already went, but I've got a stack. Nice pick there, Billy. Love to see that. I also don't think I've clicked Quinshon Judkins. I did take a share of Najee last night, pretty late, in a slow draft. Oh, he did it to me. Thought we were friends, Billy. Trey Harris there, but I've already got 5 receivers. Do I want Ray Davis? Do feel like I could use a running back. Yeah, I'm happy with Ray Davis. I think. Yeah, I'll do it. Take the suggestion. I have concerns about Rachaad White. I was just reading up on because Scott Barrett responded to Matthew Berry's piece from the spring about like 25 things he learned at some event he went to. I forget. I didn't actually read it that close. I just kind of skimmed the article because Scott responded to it, said like it has a really high hit rate. Matthew Berry's assessment of where teams are at based on conversations. And one of the things that he said he thought was, and this actually, I read it immediately after writing up Sean Tucker as one of my favorite 20th round picks. And then I read the team really seems to like Sean Tucker. The coach speak, they seem to really like Sean Tucker. He thought that maybe Sean Tucker is going to surpass Rachaad White as the RB2 there. Now, I think Rachaad White probably retains his pass catching role. So probably is a big nothing, but I don't know. I'm a little bit scared to take too much for Rachaad White. Do you find yourself aiming for a certain percentage of players for your portfolio or completely disregarding the players you think are mispriced? A little bit of both. So I rarely will end up with like 0% of a player. I'm willing to do so here or there, but usually I will, like, if a player comes up to me 20 picks past ADP, like a player that I never draft, suddenly I see them 20 picks past ADP, or, you know, depending on where I am in the draft, it's like a percentage, whatever. But usually I'll take them falling. I'll just say like, okay, this is a spot where I need that position. Even though I don't really like this player where he goes in drafts, I think here's a good spot to get him past ADP. So if I never see them fall past ADP, I'm totally good with getting 0% of a player. But I do enough drafts that I probably will end up with some exposure to almost every player, I would guess. Like I have virtually zero Keon Coleman right now, but I will take him if I have Josh Allen as my quarterback. So I guess there's an example of someone that, like, if the room is right, I will make an exception and take a player that I'm not super high on. 30% Harvey feels pretty good. KOC will pass the ball. That's good. True, but I think they're going to run it a ton. I think they just want to protect JJ as it learns the offense. Is this why you took Mark Andrews from me, Billy? Wait, what is this? The what? D-Row don't talk about the GEQ bus like that. I don't know what that means. The Nico comp is terrible, D-Row says. I feel like I've seen it everywhere. That's like his most common comp. Who's your comp, D-Bro? I should know. I probably read your piece on him. All right, which of these running backs do I want? I have 1 million shares of Bashal Tutin. I do still think I can. Well, not with Billy on the other side of me. He's got 2 picks to make. I'm gonna go Goddard or Samson. Gonna go Samson. Could just be the starting running back there. I think the fact that Judkins is still not practicing, still focused on his legal matters, not signed by the team, like, there could be an opening there. That's bigger than we think it is. Tough choice. One man. You only keep one player. Keep Kyron to lose around 8, or keep Brock Bowers to lose around 10. Keep Brock Bowers. Wait. Oh, tight end slot is also tight end / wide receivers. I don't love that as much. But I still think you keep Bowers there. Like, Kyron might be done as far as his. I think he's probably still like the bell cow back this year, to be clear, but they just added Jarquez Hunter. I think he's going to have a role, like, based on the coach speak. I think Jarquez Hunter is actually going to eat into the workload a little bit this year, brings kind of a different dynamic. And just running backs just will not age the same way. So I actually think that's Bowers all day. Even if it were the same round you're losing, I'd take Bowers there. Tutin or Ferguson? I have 4 running backs now. Do I want a triple stack? Actually, I have so much Tutin. I'm just going to go Ferguson here. Watch out for the slot demon. Yeah, Christian Kirk. I hope that the slot demon loses his job to Jalen Noel because I have so much more Jalen Noel. I do draft some Christian Kirk also. I actually think he's a pretty good pick. He's just like in a range where I'm not taking wide receivers usually. So I have Jalen Noel as my highest exposed player right now. Agree with this, Peppertoni. Peppertoni says Fields seems mispriced to me. He could be going like 30 picks earlier and I wouldn't blink. He's one that I think I might do my own rankings soon, and I'm gonna have him a lot higher than he is where he goes. Queue up Grateful Dead Hartford 77. So like where you find that on YouTube? Remember Jalen Royals? Yep. Good pick there. What are you doing with Keenan Allen? I've started to mix him in a little bit more. I've been talking with Mathology a little bit. He's pretty high on Keenan Allen as a late round pick. I was for a little while, and then a lot of people talked me off him from a talent standpoint. Like he might be falling off a little bit. So like if he is falling off and he doesn't have a destination, like I've done the thing where I take a player and they're a zero, they don't sign anywhere all year. I was in on like Leonard Fournette that year. Who's the other one? Who was the other one we all took that year? Who was former Texans guy? Yeah, whatever. I've taken those guys who were big zeros, but I think he still wants to play. There's a spot now on the Chargers. I think there are a few places he would go, and I would be happy to have my bags packed already. So I'm not reaching for him, but I'm taking him past pick 180. Like if I can get Keenan Allen in that in the 16th round or later, I'm happy to do so. Also not like a huge priority because I think like a zero or like he goes to a team where he's not going to be a significant part of the offense is also really likely. So I'm not going out of my way to get him. I also like we've had the conversations about like where do you want him to go, and I'm never like, oh wow, if he goes there, he's going to have 1,000 receiving yards. It's not like I doubt that happens because I can't think of a place where he would be like the alpha. Tillman is here. So here's an example of a player that I do not take much at all because I'm not super high on the Browns. I usually go Wandale or Pop here. He's not really past 80. He's a little bit past ADP. I mix in some of these guys that I'm not super high on. I think I'm just going to do it. I've already got both my quarterbacks. Probably not going with another quarterback here. Feels like it's a fine spot to get a Tillman share. What are you guys doing with Keenan Allen? What are you doing, Pat? You should play Bone Crusher, Ain't Never Scared in the background, and then reach on every player you take. Not familiar. 51% Royals on DK. Here you go. Here's your guy, D-Bro. Yeah, 17th and 18th. Keenan Allen does feel pretty good. At the end of the day, Keenan Allen is just, his reputation is going to precede him wherever he goes. Like, I don't think he's going to just sit on the bench and do nothing. He will be a problem in the locker room if he's benched. Like, he's going to be involved. Any team that signs him knows they need to keep him involved. Do I want to double click? People hate this, the double click of the Browns running backs. I don't think I hate it though. I think I'm going to do it. I understand that they're the Browns. I do. I swear I know that they're not that good. But Jerome Ford, likely to be pretty involved in the passing game. If Quinshon Judkins does get suspended for the start of the season, doesn't sign, whatever, I I think there are a lot of outs right now to Quinshon Judkins not really being that involved, at least for the start of the year, possibly for the whole year. And if that happens, I think we're going to see a lot of work from Dylan Sampson and Jerome Ford. And while I don't normally like targeting running backs on bad teams, at some point the volume, just where they're going in drafts, the volume, it's worth the pick. So I like them where they're going right now. Sampson up at 141. Honestly, I don't totally love that, but I think I might soon learn to love that spot. I think right now I still have I was getting him at pick 200 a week ago feeling to it. So it's a little bit of a tough click. Ford, I really like anywhere in the 15th round or later. Even though, yes, they added 2 rookies. D-Bros ranks Tet, Hunter, Trey Harris, Egbuka, Higgins. So you do still have Trey Harris ahead of Higgins. I didn't know that. Appreciate you, D-Bro. I'm still pretty far behind. Sorry. I'm really trying to keep up. You can see why I'm not able to keep up when I have people that I'm talking to. It's tough. Low on Golden. Andrew asked you draft Trey ahead of Egbuka. D-Rose says he will. I sometimes do. I kind of mix it up with that trio. Peppertoni says, I was taking a lot of Tucker, but UTR doesn't even have a rank, so I cooled off bigly, but I'm fading Bucky at cost this year. I think you should keep mixing them in. Honestly, I think it's a little bit murky right now because they have 2 running backs ahead of him. But there have been, I was looking at the Coach Speak Index 3 different times since February. One of them as recently as May 30th. They keep saying he's been really good. We need to get him more involved, which coaches say that a lot and then they don't do it. So I don't want to overreact to it, but his stats were really good last year. Small sample size, only 50 carries, but he was really good with those 50 carries. They keep saying they want to get him more involved. And I also think they're not super high on Rachaad White. I think the team has been frustrated with Rachaad White. So I wouldn't be that surprised if they actually do get him more involved. And you can take him in the 20th round, and he has been taken in under 20% of DraftKings drafts so far. So I'm still in. Pop Douglas. Love to see it. Yeah, I mean, White does look like a good value based on projections. Also agree with this. I'm not he's not an auto click for me. He's more I'm going to have more than the field because the field, he's not even going to be 100% drafted. So you don't even need to have 8% of him to be above the field on Sean Tucker. If you mix him into, 4% of your teams, you're going to be above the field because he's taken in less than 50% of drafts. Now, maybe that changes over time. That's as of June 26th, but I don't feel like the field is really going there a lot. Jalen Knoll goes. I thought he was just mine in every draft. Thought I had dibs. Ooh, Billy took Miles Sanders, saving me from myself. See, here I can take Keenan Allen if I want him. I'll do it. Talking point. Let's make it happen. All right, gonna keep catching up. Chig, most exposed and feels disgusting. Andrew says, yeah, I mean, I take some Chig. I mix him in. How far above ADP was that Samson pick? Samson is up to, I think, ADP of 158, and I took him at 141, but his ADP is moving up really quickly, so I don't actually think he's that's that far ahead of where he's going currently. Debro agrees. Bowers over Kyron. Yeah, I agree with this, Patrick. I talked about this with JJ Zachariason on his Becoming a Best Ball Bro podcast. With all the quarterbacks being pushed up, like the elites are just better relatively. Fields quarterback 8 for Debro, so you'd probably agree. You got to move him up a little bit. Yeah, Billy says I would love to see you use a sidekick with your own rankings more. I need to do my own rankings to make that happen, because I do think that would be a lot of fun to just like, all right, now that we have how I like the picks already in the sidekick, what do you think I should do based on the the range of outcomes that my rankings would suggest to you? Still not quite as informative as, like, I'm sure the way they do it, they actually like put in a range of outcomes for each player, so it's just using my rankings. It's still going to use their like range of outcomes as the baseline, I would assume, and just kind of shift them up more or down more. But so it'd be more interesting to do it if I maybe disagree sometimes on the range of outcomes in ways other than deviation from the mean. I'm sort of using terminology, talking out my butt now, but I'm trying to get a thought out there that is now trying to wade into math speak, which is not my forte. Garrett Wilson, Justin Field stacks. Does feel pretty good. We're at 2582. So this is kind of a take who you like pick. And Tom was right. Tom Strachan told me to learn to love the Tutu Atwell. And I think he was right. So I'm conceding and taking some Tutu. You got to talk to Justin Steele about this. Okay, there you go. D-Rancis, love that. Clippers Nation says Keenan had 70, 744, and 7 last year in that mess of an offense he's not washed. Yeah, exactly. He was actually, all things considered, I think, pretty good last year. I think from, like, if you look at some of the stats that fantasy football people like to use to assess efficiency and how good a player is, I think not amazing, but sometimes just being in a mess of an offense, you see players lose motivation to some extent. I think a lot of things working against him. So wouldn't be surprised to see him have a bounce back year. I still would expect the production overall to regress a little bit again, because he was in a pretty good spot. Like, even though it was a bad offense, he was still one of the top receivers in that offense. I think teams are already making other plans with the receivers they have, so I don't think he'll have quite the same opportunity, but who knows? I'll go with a Theo Johnson. Sure. Never Tillman's, or is that how far behind I am? Yeah, Seal, great clubhouse guy, even when he's not playing. Oh, I would take that all day, Patrick, from Keenan Allen. Billy trying to just gonna beat us every day, huh? Yep, Braden, I will be maxing this contest this year. Appreciate Debro continuing to pump up the likes for me. That's why I pay him the big bucks as a moderator. Yeah. I mean, I might have something to do with the Samson ADP, but look at the rankings around the industry. The leg up guys have moved him way up. Jacob Sanderson did a tweet about how great of a pick he is right now, how he needs to be moving up. So I am one of many who is talking Samson up. Yeah, A-Rich is one that I have not clicked a ton. I think a lot of these, like similar to Justin Fields, where it's like I don't really buy into the offense a ton, although I do like Josh Downs, Michael Pittman, I think a fine pick. But usually by A-Rich, I already have another quarterback. So it's like a situational thing where I like these players and I think I should be taking more of them, but I don't because I don't have their receivers already, not buying into the offense. So I think I just need to do rankings where I move Justin Fields up so that I'm taking him before it comes there and before I take another quarterback ahead of him who I like worse. I don't know. It's a tricky situation for me. Taj Brooks I like quite a bit. But maybe I'll just do the guy I was talking about. Sean Tucker. I thought I saw him on my list before. Oh no, he has the same buy. That's why. Never mind. I'm not going to do it this time. This is a spot where I'm trying to mix him in, but he has the same buy as the Browns guys where I took both of them. So I'm going to go with Taj Brooks, another one of my favorite picks. And I end up with a 2693 build. Yeah, Debra says per fantasy points data among 112 wide receivers last year, Keenan Allen 45th in separation, 40th in route win rate, not washed. Yeah, he's like still above average. Like it's not amazing. It's above average. All right, I will read off the team. I got Lamar Jackson, RJ Harvey, Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, Ladd McConkey, Zay Flowers, TJ Hawkinson, George Pickens, Jaden Higgins, Dak Prescott, Ray Davis, Dylan Sampson, Jake Ferguson, Cedric Tillman, Jerome Ford, Pop Douglas, Keenan Allen, Tutu Atwell, Theo Johnson, and Taj Brooks. It is a 2693 build. I've got the Dak triple with Ferguson, CeeDee Lamb, and George Pickens. I don't think I had anybody from Washington on the team, so no Week 17 bring back. And then I also have Lamar Jackson with Zay Flowers. I think just that. And no Green Bay either. So no great correlation there. Pretty good team. If anybody wants me to read off your team, take a quick look. I'll give you a minute here. Just let me know within the next minute. Otherwise, I'll jump into another draft. Billy, let me know if you want to see it. Or if you'd rather just hop onto another draft. Up to you guys. I will be hopping into another one within the next few minutes if I'm not going to sauce anybody. Also, my dog's out of here, so I'm going to close my door. Would I change any of my picks? Good question. I think I might, if I had known Ladd McConkey was going to come back in the second round, I might have taken Bijan over CeeDee Lamb. I think that's one that I would probably change. Pretty happy with most of these. I mean, I didn't feel great about like any of the running backs where I took Ray Davis. I don't love taking him at 124. I feel like that's a little bit ahead of ADP. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it goes earlier than I think. But no real regrets. I might change Cedric Tillman. Never feels great. Like it would have been, actually probably would have been Wan'Dale Robinson if I did not take Cedric Tillman. But I don't have any huge issue with it. I bet on the Browns on this team with Jerome Ford also and Dylan Sampson. So I just bet on them being like a fine team this year, putting up some points. So I don't think I regret that. Honestly, no major regrets here. Like I think I feel pretty good about the team. But yeah, they're like, if I could go back and take Bijan here, I probably would. And maybe Cedric Tillman. Billy, all right, I'll read off your team, Billy. Billy has a 3-8-7-2 build. It's Justin Jefferson, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Jordan Addison, Stephon Diggs, Jordan Mason, Jalen Warren, JJ McCarthy, Mark Andrews, Dallas Goedert, Rashad White, Jalen McMillan, Tyler Algier, Will Shipley, Miles Sanders, Daniel Jones, Jalen Royals, and Ty Felton. So Daniel Jones, is he stacked up at all? Not stacked. Just took the fall in ADP there. Got the Hurts to Devontae stack with and Dallas Goedert also. Philadelphia playing Buffalo. Week 17. Nothing there. Love to see the JJ McCarthy with Jordan Mason, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson. It's a nice team. Yeah. I'd be happy with that team. Ty Felton added on there as well. You got your guy, Jalen Royals, D-Bro's guy, Jalen Royals. Looks good. 3-8-7-2. Yeah. Billy knew, obviously. Of course, I'm going to love that team. Full-on Viking stack. What's the background song? I dig it. This song is called Into Space. It is one of 8 default background music songs in StreamYard, which is like what all streamers use to stream. But I like it also. Oh, Brian. Appreciate you. Thank you. That's very kind to send a super chat. Are you gonna go download Into Space, Brian? It is it's pleasant as background music. All right, I'm gonna hop into another draft here. If any of you want to draft with me, now is the time. $20. Millie Maker entering now. And we're filling. I dig it too, by the way. To me, it does not sound like elevator music. I mean, it kind of does, but like good elevator music. Anybody I know in here? Any of you? I don't think. Oh, Mazone is in here. Chris Air. I think I see you. Tigo, I know. I do see some names that I know. Who else is in here? All right, Billy. Living vicariously through me. All right. What's up, Chris? Chris, a man of many names. The Candyman. He's the Garage. He's Chris. Oh. What do you guys think of my draft? I didn't ask you to sauce it. Any picks that you would have changed? I'm guessing there's some. Thank you for the sub, JT. Patrick says, ended up DK Millie team of quarterback Jaden Daniels, Dak, and Petnix, running back Omarion Hampton, Mixon, Tootin, Algier, Braylon Allen, DJ Giddens, Mitchell. Is that Keaton Mitchell or Elijah Mitchell? Lamb, London, Higgins, Shakir, Golden, Egbuka, Keenan Allen, Ferguson, Ertz, Conklin. Yeah, it seems all right. It's like a little bit thin at running back was my first instinct, but you do have, like, if Omarion Hampton is what we want him to be, what we need him to be, and Mixon stays healthy long enough for the other running backs to be good. Seems good enough. Ah, cool. JT says he saw me as a guest on someone's podcast. Maybe Pete's been on. I was on Pat's podcast yesterday. First time I've been on a Legendary Upside podcast. Actually, no, that's not true. I've been on. We've streamed some of our DFS content to Leg Up. But yeah, I was on with Pat and Davis yesterday. I've been on with Pete a few times in the past month or two. Done a lot of guest spots. It's always fun being a guest. Takes the pressure off, you know. It's the host who has to worry about things going smoothly. Malik Neighbors, Nico Collins. I'm gonna go. I'm tempted to just take Collins here. No, I got to get my Neighbors up. Got to get more of Malik Neighbors. Flannelverse is like the most wholesome corner of the internet. Yeah, I mean, last night was just a big old wholesome fest here. What's up, Tattooed Freak? Good to see you. Thank you for supporting. Oh, it's a while back. Okay, well, yeah, could be any number of people then. All right, Brock Bowers, the psychic suggestion. I do like Brock Bowers quite a bit. Here's one where I could just take Brock Bowers since I'm drafting by myself and none of my guests ever want to take him. It is tough now that you sometimes see a Trey McBride fall, but he's not falling as much recently. It's between Bowers and London. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to get my guy Bowers. I'm going to regret that if like Kittle is available at pick 40. Then I'm going to really regret that Bowers pick, or if McBride is available at 33. If either of those things happen, I am going to be really mad at myself for that pick. But I've got the week 17 game correlation, Giants and Raiders. And like probably that's not going to happen. Can't go wrong with wide receiver options between 10 and 14. That is also true. I could have gone Drake London. Can never go wrong with LSU receivers. General question: how do you feel about Evan Ingram? Debro is clearly not here right now because he would have answered this question by now. He absolutely loves him. I think he's a strong pick. He is not. I think I'm actually underweight to the field on Evan Ingram because he's in that range where I'm not like clicking a tight end a lot. I often will have one of the elites, Bowers, McBride, or Kittle. Otherwise, I'm usually pushing tight end unless they fall past the ADP. Sometimes, like it's a fun double click if you need a tight end and a quarterback. Go Bo Nix and Evan Ingram. Generally, I'd say like, yeah, strong pick, not a huge target for me. My bad. I have a guest, and I just maybe he just got here because he just messaged me a minute ago, and I did not notice it right away. I am going to bring in for the first time this week, guy who loves my hat. Actually, let me pull up, change my layout first. Good friend of mine celebrating his 1-year wedding anniversary week. CEO of Fantasy Points, Scott Barrett is here. Scott Barrett, how are we doing today?
I'm doing good. Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, it's my 1-year wedding anniversary, so of course I have to spend at least an hour of it drafting a basketball team with Neil.
Obviously, that is something you need to do on your wedding anniversary. I'm sure your wife is thrilled about it. Nothing she would rather have you do.
I'm so excited to be here, man. The best ball streets are buzzing. I owe the best ball bros an apology. It has never been a more fun time, more exciting time to be a best ball bro. There's diss tracks dropping. It's amazing. There's drama.
It's the drama this week has been just through the roof. Like this is just more drama than I can handle in 1 week.
I have to
But
say it's excellent. The diss track was good. Like it was really good. I listened to it
it
like
was
50
really
times.
good. I'm friends with Davis, love Davis, and yet the diss track was just that was really well done.
And so what do
I
you do if you're Davis? Like he's just tweeting through it. Like he's like,
yeah,
here's a video of me skateboarding. And so
you
I
do
want to
not
know.
respond to that. Listen, you do not want to get into a rap battle with Prime Eminem. That's what he's dealing with right now. Like with that level of talent.
Well, what did Jay-Z do when Nas dropped Ether? Like people were just like, "Oh, damn, it's over. He's dead.
Yeah,
Career's over." Did he tweet through it or whatever the 1990s equivalent was?
I assume so. I
I
think
think you
he
have
just
to.
ignore it. Yep.
I think I would have just applauded. I would have been like, "All right, yo, this is nice. Let
Maybe he
me
will still.
let me get this guy on my stream. Let me
Wait,
roast me. Let's hear the critique of me."
Scott, we're on the clock here,
Okay.
and I have not done a draft with you on DraftKings yet. So
Yeah.
here's picks by ADP. I have Malik Neighbors and Brock Bowers so far.
I've never drafted on DraftKings, so I don't really know the format. I'm cool with Rasheed. I'm cool with Kyron and Brees. I'm cool
All
with
right,
all
let's
those.
go.
I'll pull up our projections just so I know what's real.
All right, I went with Kyron. Rasheed right now is falling, so I just don't want to
How
take
much
him
does
right
he
here.
fall?
He usually will fall to like the 3-4 pick, but I think he's going to continue to fall. I think it's like he's still being propped up by his prior ADP, so I think he's going to continue falling further.
Right, but
Um,
this is DraftKings is like super deep rosters, right? With
20 rounds, yeah,
so I don't know. I think that changed, and it's still tournament style, right?
it is. Yep, 1,000 or so teams in the final.
Okay. Okay. Are you marathon streaming today? What's the plan?
So I need to do 2 more drafts. This is my second to last per my agreement with DraftKings for DraftKings at Best Ball Week, and then I'll also be putting out other content. But this is my second to last streamed draft. So I could do one more after this.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd have to do one tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Are you an Uber Bull on Omarion Hampton like I am?
That's Theo's guy. I like him for sure. Our projections like him. We have him about RB16. I think you could take him. I think you could take. I don't know. I'm fine with Rasheed, honestly, but maybe I'm just
How do you feel about Xavier Worthy?
Way out.
All right.
Just not a worthy guy. Just don't think he's great. And like 4 game suspension. How much does that really move the needle? These are front loaded 4 games, which matter exponentially less than the final 4 games, and like that's when your team is at its healthiest. And I'm the upside wins championships guy. So
yeah. You're the upside wins championships guy who is not super in on Travis Hunter. As Jacob
how does
pointed out
everyone
to you,
know about this? I haven't
because Jacob said that exact line in a reply to a tweet.
I know.
You replied to him, and that was
so
that was
that like created this buzz where like I was just debating everyone in my DMs. It was Ryan, it was Jake, it was Graham, it was it's just it all comes down to route share. So like I'm on record saying Travis Hunter might be the greatest football player of all time.
You bet him for MVP this year.
Yeah, and I got trash for that. And so like I love the player. It's just it's entirely the route share thing where that limits your ceiling and your floor severely, where if you're under a 65% route share, you have like 0 chance of finishing top 45 at the position. And then if you're 60 to 70%, like you're maxing out at wide receiver 3, wide receiver 2, even if you're like top 3 in efficiency, and it just keeps going like that. And so there's no real frame of reference for a 2-way player. I know the dude's like cardio is just so different. This is the most built different player ever. But it's also like I've seen the target per route run projections, and it's like, I love him, but I don't, that's not his game. Like, that's not how he wins. He had like elite ball skills. You're not giving design targets to the dude who's perpetually gassed, who's coming off of a 12 play drive on defense. You're not going to give him a screen target as he's wheezing. And he's like, and again, he wasn't a yak guy, wasn't good at all. He was below average missed tackles forced yak in college. So wide receiver 2, it's like a betting on him at this cost to me feels like a 3-leg parlay. It's one, he's really, really good at wide receiver, where part of the draft capital was him being good at both, really good at wide receiver. And then the other one is that the Jacksonville wide receiver 2 role is great. And then the third one is that he's going to be a full-time player. It's not even, 70% has to be full-time. And so I don't know, he goes the 1 pick after Jalen Waddle. And so I'm more comfortable with that, but it's a part of it too, is we're talking about July, right? So like if we get into training camp and he's just every single play on offense and, every third day he gets a few drives on defense, that really changes the equation. But to me, I think people are conflating high risk with high upside.
Sure. Wait, so you're saying you would rather have Waddle at this point? So Waddle,
for sure, yeah.
Where is that like line for you though? Like, do you have an idea of full PPR where you would move? Because I'm like, I'll click him sometimes here at 57. This feels like a fine spot to take him, which is kind of in that range. But like, let's see, what are the wide receivers? Let me sort by ADP real quick. I prefer Pickens.
But here's the thing: if he's he plays every 2 out of 3 drives on offense, every 2 out of 3 drives on defense. And then if they're ever leading by 2 scores in the fourth quarter, he sits on the bench, he's dead. That's just nothing. That's like, we've never seen. Okay. Kenneth Walker, my God, please.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Love him. This is a great range for running backs. Love James Conner. Ridley's a good value. I'd rather have, I saw people clowning like, you're going to take Ridley over Travis. I would for sure, especially in best ball. But yeah, that's the thing, is if he's 2 out of 3 drives on offense, 2 out of 3 drives on defense, we've never over the past 4 years seen a player with a below 65% route share finish top 45 in fantasy points. It's just like so hard to do. Nico Collins came very close 2 years ago, but he had to lead the position in fantasy points per route run. And so again, that's what I keep saying, is like, he has to be hyper efficient and he has to be a full-time player. And we just don't really know what they're going to do.
Yeah. I mean, he might be playing more offense than we realize. There's also like all of the reports
it's not more. It has to be full-time, as much as all of these other wide receivers, as much as Chris Olave, as much as Jerry Jeudy, these guys who just don't come off the field.
RJ Harvey is here. Chris Olave, James Conner.
I don't know what positions you need, but I like Olave a lot.
I have 3 running backs already and just
right,
1 receiver. Okay.
Or Jeudy or.
Yeah, I think I'm out on Jeudy. I'm not. I'm worried about the quarterback situation in Cleveland.
I'm not.
Which, I mean, I guess I'm taking the wide receiver who has Tyler Shuck throwing to him. But
yeah, right. That to me feels so much worse. I mean, they have the floor of Joe Flacco. Do you remember what Joe Flacco did in this offense 2 years ago?
I very much remember, but he was 2 years younger then.
Yeah, but
wasn't as good last year, right?
I'm just like a Kevin Stefanski guy. I just think he's like up there, but it's hard to tell because Deshaun Watson was like Will Levis levels of bad.
He was so bad. Yeah, no, that is a fair point.
But Jameis Winston last year, like, he sucks too, but he was awesome for fantasy. He made us a bunch of money.
Oh yeah, no, it's true. They don't need to be great for fantasy, but yeah, I don't know. We've only seen a very small sample of Jerry Jeudy being good, and it was with Jameis Winston. We haven't seen it with really any other quarterback.
Yeah, but when Joe Flacco was the quarterback in this offense, Amari Cooper was the overall wide receiver 1. David Njoku was putting up top 5 numbers. And then we saw Jeudy do it last year with Winston.
So you're more of the opinion that the offense itself is good. It's just been Deshaun Watson holding it back, essellly.
I mean, I think so. If you just look at over the last few years and just take out the Deshaun Watson games, it's like top 5. I know, and you have to keep in mind right now it's priced as though it's the worst, which it is by every sports book projecting out, points per game and wins and losses. It's the worst offense. I don't think that's right at all. Although per sources, they really want Kenny Pickett to start, which wouldn't
That's
be
not
great,
ideal.
but
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's why would you want Kenny Pickett to start? Like, are they tanking?
I don't know. I think there's just more long-term upside there. Like Flacco might retire at the end of the year. Maybe they could trade him or something. Because like that was part of their justification for making that Travis Hunter trade, was they thought this wasn't a great quarterback class, but next year's is really good. So let's have the ammo to move up. And so I guess, Kenny Pickett's above average. You could trade him and get capital. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can't really trade a Flacco, but
True. Man, RJ Harvey's still here in the 7th round. I don't think I've seen that yet.
that's awesome.
Won't make it back to us, but yeah.
So how many
great.
DraftKings drafts have you done in total?
Like 45, 46 maybe. Or I guess that's just the milli, so maybe 60 something total.
Do you think it's much softer than Underdog?
It's at the very least much more chaotic. So like on Underdog, like you kind of have an idea where players are going to go. Like they don't really stray from their range that much. It's pretty shocking when they do. On DraftKings, like players will go way different than where their ADP is. I do genuinely think it's softer also. Yeah, but
the prizes are better too, right?
I actually don't know the total prize. I mean, it's 15 million in prizes for the $20 milli. I know that much. And it's saying 2 million to first on both. I have not looked at the actual like total.
I think DraftKings is 2 million to first, 1 million to second. They make me read an ad read. I should really know this.
Do they make you say that in the ad read though? Because it's not in my ad read.
They say $1 million prizes to first and second place.
Okay, then that must be right. I did not get that ad read. Yeah, you guys also participated in DraftKings Best Ball Week, yeah?
I don't know what that is. I'll be honest.
It's right now. Right now is DraftKings Best Ball Week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're doing promos all the time. I thought I saw, like, because I'm in the Fantasy Points Discord, somebody said something along the lines of, all right, it's DraftKings Best Ball Week. Get ready, get excited, whatever. And I was like, oh,
I'm just not a best ball bro, Neil. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're not doing the content. It's other people at Fantasy Points.
I was gonna say I'm too old for best ball, but that can't be true.
That can't be true. No, come on. You're not even close to.
Do you still hold the record for the oldest streamer?
Yeah, nobody's beating my record. Come on. Impossible.
Well, maybe overs that in like 20 years.
I mean, that is true. All right. Tony Pollard, Josh Downs, Matthew Golden, Caleb Johnson.
I like Caleb Johnson. I like Josh Downs. I
feel like we need a wide receiver, probably.
All right, click on wide receiver for me then.
Yep.
Cup and Downs, I think are great. Mooney's really good.
Who's your preference between those three?
I would probably go Downs.
Good, because that's what we got.
Nice.
Who are you taking if you try to stack up Downs? I guess I'm talking to the wrong guy about stacking. Which quarterback?
No, actually, you're not.
Okay.
So I think in best ball, you're better off just avoiding the quarterback. If you don't know for sure he's going to start 16 games, 10 or more games. But in this instance, I don't know. I'm just kind of super bullish on Daniel Jones. Like, I just think Anthony Richardson's that bad. The vibes that we were hearing as early as week 1 last year, and then just, doubling down, tripling down throughout the season. I think they're just done with him. And I think he just stinks. And I think
we're back
there's
on the clock,
effort issues. And I think they like, oh, sorry. We're on the clock,
sorry.
right?
Yeah. We are on the clock. Here is by ADP.
Oh, take Mooney. Take Mooney.
Okay.
I like great archetype for best ball, really good deep threat with a quarterback who was an elite deep ball thrower. He had more 80-yard games than Drake London last year by like 4 or something crazy like that. But anyway, I think they like Daniel Jones. I also think Shane Steichen's track record is elite. Minus Anthony Richardson. He's also the tush push guy, and Daniel Jones' mobility gets slept on. Yeah. He has more games with over 90 rushing yards than Jalen Hurts. I think he's tied with Mike Vick and Cam Newton even. And so people just kind of sleep on him. And I don't know. I think he's kind of cool. I think his offense could like fuck if he's, serviceable. I know he sucked with the Giants, but he literally had the worst offensive line and worst receiving core every year of his career. So I like him at cost for sure.
But you're still not really. Oh, I thought you said to stay away from the quarterbacks.
So I think as a rule, like that's smart in best ball.
Okay.
But in a 20 round format and in like this specific use case where I'm bullish and I like it, I think you can for sure draft him. And then if that's the case, like, geez, this team has 4 really good wide receivers and a nice rookie tight end.
True. I just noticed a team. It's a Dino team started with 7 straight wide receivers. You don't see that nearly as much. And the one hole starts with 6 and 1 tight end with the first 7 rounds. So it's
a bit excessive. No,
it's a little bit callback to last year, the way we all drafted.
Yeah, I would love the historical EV rates here. I bet like after your 4th wide receiver, it just goes down to like 0% odds.
I mean, I think last year was a little bit of an outlier. Kind of a big outlier as far as like did not hit at all last year. It was just like terrible if you took a lot of wide receivers early. But I think like if you go historical beyond last year.
So I think historical 0 RB is fine, but like 5, 6, 7.
Yeah. Too many receivers as opposed to like taking a quarterback or a tight end in that range.
Yeah.
Okay. I hear you.
Like going wide receiver, fine. No issue with it. Even maybe a 4th wide receiver, fine. But once you hit 5th, it's just like, oh, that's so suboptimal.
Yeah.
Or only donkeys have done. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm not a best ball guy. I don't know.
How do you feel about Justin Fields this year?
Yeah, I like him a lot. He's just he was the QB6 by fantasy points per game. And then he lost that job. I think he was kind of better than Russell Wilson. And top 5 in fantasy points per dropback every year. So he runs. It's nice. Good value. A lot of people guessing he's my Exodia. I don't think so, but I thought about it.
Oh, so you have not named your Exodia yet?
No. My big article comes out August 1st. I'm still working on the rankings. I think quarterback, tight end is done. Running back, very close to done. Wide receiver, I still have quite a ways to go.
I have a different quarterback that I thought was your Exodia, and I'm not going to name it in case you've told me this in private. I was going
to say, I bet you'd get it right.
Should I say it or no?
No, don't say it.
I don't think you've. Okay, I won't say it.
I'll say he's not off the board yet.
Yeah.
But Dak Prescott was in there just because when he's healthy, like he has such a rock solid floor, and then we have seen that ceiling from him. He's just not priced like it off of like worst year of his career.
Yeah.
Best supporting cast, worst running backs of his career.
Yeah, it's like ideal. Yeah. Ideal setup. How do you feel about the Dallas running back situation? Like, are you drafting Jadon Blue, Javonte Williams?
I don't think so. I just think all those guys stink, and I think all those guys stink worse than Rico Dowdle.
I mean, I agree with that.
Like Dowdle, was kind of fun at the tail end of last year, but I don't know. It's just so gross. And there's always the chance that like their starting running back isn't on the roster. Like remember that year Leonard Fournette, Le'Veon Bell got randomly cut or traded.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's possible. I'd take a fair amount of Miles Sanders at like pick 190-ish on average.
Yeah. I just don't want to make, I mean, I guess it's different in best ball for sure, but in like a start sit, it just, I don't know. And I don't really see the upside to make it worthwhile gambling.
All right. Drake May is available here. We don't have a quarterback yet or really any quarterback outs. So I think he kind of fits this team. Jalen Warren. Okay.
I would go Drake May or Njoku personally, or Scatabo, but I guess we don't need a running back.
Yeah, we don't really need a running back.
And
we need quarterback
more than tight end. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. That's a good pick.
Yeah, I think it's just like on a team where and you look like a quarterback outs, it's like Jackson Dart, I do like Geno as a late round pick, but like Tyler Shuck, Daniel Jones, Michael Penix, we just don't have that many late quarterback outs. So just taking a quarterback and then figuring out who to stack him with, and there's a lot of late stacking options with Drake May. Makes sense, I think. DraftKings also, since you haven't drafted on DraftKings, I should let you know, quarterbacks just like fly off the board. It's like you like really need to pay attention to the quarterbacks, because if you don't, you're just going to miss out on all of them. You're going to be like, I guess I'll take Tyler Shuck in the 16th round and make it work. It's tough. So to get one there is important.
Yeah, but you lost out on Njoku.
Yeah, Njoku does not come back, which is fine. We have Bowers. Like, usually want to push the second tight end when we have Bowers. What are you doing with the elite tight ends this year?
I like one of them more than the others.
You gonna tell me which one?
Kittle, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, especially at cost, but yeah, I think there's like a late round tight end I love, and then I would be very happy to get one of the big three, but probably Bowers feels a little cost prohibitive to me.
Do you like Jaylen Warren? Here we're on the clock again.
Not
we
really,
have three running backs.
If you like him, I won't get mad at you.
I like him fine. If you like anybody else, Tyler Warren, Cam Scatterbo.
I like.
You like Scatterbo? Oh.
Yeah. If we need quarterback, we can take McCarthy or Herbert.
I mean, we've got May now, so it's not as desperate.
I mean, Herbert could be Exodia quarterback. Just the way they're talking about him being more involved on the ground. You know, it's really hard to gauge. That's what Pepper Tony guesses. Really hard to gauge just how true that is, or like how much they believe it. But the dude is basically a Josh Allen clone, except a little more athletic. He's 1 pound lighter. He's an inch taller. He runs a faster 40. He jumps farther and higher. And apparently he put on 20 pounds of muscle this offseason.
Really?
Yeah. And only Lamar Jackson has more runs of 25 plus yards over the last 2 seasons. And like Herbert hasn't really run much the last 2 years. Greg Roman famously coached Colin Kaepernick, Lamar Jackson. Alex Smith ran when he was with Greg Roman. And so, yeah, I just like, that's the thing, is like how they're talking about it, getting him more involved on the ground. It's just how serious are they? And so I thought seriously about Herbert, but like, that's kind of what's tricky this year. So there's just like a lot of quarterbacks I like where they have this guaranteed floor, and then they have, you know, mid-range QB1 upside if, you know, this one variable goes the right way.
Yeah. One of my early takes was that JJ McCarthy was like a big sleeper. He's going to be a top 10 quarterback. And at the time he was going at pick, like, you get him at pick 140 pretty consistently. Now he's moved way up, and I'm like, now he's in a range where it's like, okay, love JJ McCarthy, but also love Drake May, Justin Herbert. CJ Stroud goes later. You've got Justin Fields right there. Brock Purdy. It's just like, there are so many good quarterback options now that I'm like, I still really like JJ McCarthy, but it's you gotta.
A lot of people, and just because, you know, like I'm so bullish on Kevin O'Connell's offense, like I placed a ton of bets on Sam Darnold to, you know, lead the league in passing touchdowns last year. He finished 5th. And you know how high Brett was on JJ McCarthy, but he's definitely not. It's just because there's all these other quarterbacks with crucially like rushing upside. But yeah, I mean, just look at Kevin O'Connell's offense. Is like every year it's top 5 in passing yards, no matter who's the quarterback, and have to think Kevin O'Connell, JJ McCarthy is going to do better than Josh Dobbs, than Darnold, who was barely in the league 2 years ago.
Yeah, still a pick that I really love. We got some questions here. If you think they all stink, speaking of the Dallas running backs, are you super high on Pickens and CeeDee? Which you kind of already answered, I think that you are. Is that right? Or you're high on Dak? Are you high on the receivers?
Yeah, I like them. I think something we're missing with Pickens is, obviously I see a lot of upside there, is what if he just goes Deontay Johnson? Like, the vibes we're getting, like, I literally think are worse than the vibes we had on Deontay going into last season.
Well, the vibes right now, George Pickens on the Cowboys?
Yeah. I mean, like, I haven't heard anything about him in Dallas, but I mean, just what happened in Pittsburgh, like he was just
Oh,
taking
sure.
himself off the field. He didn't show up to practice. He would show up late. He would get into fights with the coaches. So the vibes are like he could just get cut from the team. Like there's a world where that happened. I think less so with Jerry, but I mean, it just happened with Deontay.
True. Yeah, I guess I have not factored that in. I like kind of make the assumption that a player goes to a new team and it's like turns over a new leaf and like you're gonna have a good attitude for the first year, but maybe that didn't happen with Deontay, that's for sure. So
Yeah.
I guess there is more risk than I'm giving it credit for. All right, we're back on the clock. This is by ADP.
Oh, Jordan Love's a great pick for a quarterback needy team.
Yeah, and we do have later outs of Michael Penix.
I like him. I like Love significantly more than everyone else. He was hurt all of last year, so
yeah,
I would just throw out last year.
I do take a lot of Jordan Love. I wish that Tucker Kraft was still there. I didn't notice Tucker Kraft did go, so we're not going to get that one. But we can do a later stack with Romeo Dobbs. And any other like, would you do any like 20th round Savion Williams, Dontavian Wicks, anything like that?
I keep forgetting for stacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I you know me, I don't think that far ahead, Neil.
You don't do a lot of best ball, so you don't like I've already got the like what are going to be my options. Yeah.
Hunter Henry, right? And then Romeo Dobbs, I think, is a great value.
Yeah.
And then then that's kind of it. We could do did Tyler Warren? Yeah, he did. I was gonna say Daniel Jones. I don't know, Neil. This, you know me, I'm the anti-stacker.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can probably at our next turn figure out how to prioritize them. Do you like Luther Burden at this pick? It's what, 150 something? Is he a player you take at pick 36? Or...
Yeah, sure. I like the upside there. I like Basil Tootin a lot too. Who I just saw. I don't know if that was
who would you rather have between those two?
Depends on whatever your roster needs.
I think we need receiver a little bit more.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah. Somebody else asked a question. Oh yeah. Charlie asked, what's an Exodia? This is you coined the term, right?
Yeah, it's just like, so the first ever Exodia was rookie season Kareem Hunt, where I was just like drafting Kareem Hunt in round 15 or wherever he was going is like summoning Exodia. You could just log out. You've automatically won your league. And that was my tweet. And then Spencer Ware tore his ACL in August. And then like it got a million more retweets. And then week 1, he scored like 50 fantasy points. He just went nuclear and then got like 50 more retweets. And then people made a shirt out of it. And then every year people are like, who's your Exodia? Who's your Exodia? And so last year, Exodia quarterback was Jaden Daniels. Exodia running backs were Kenneth Walker. Bucky Irving was really high up there. Jonathan Brooks, but hopefully you handcuffed him with Chuba Hubbard. Wide receivers were Chris Godwin, Rashee Rice, which, you know, bad injury luck there, but Malik Neighbors was one of them. So yeah, everyone. Yeah. So my draft plan comes out early August, and it's like, who were the 6 total Exodia pieces you have to put together to auto win your league is the most mispriced players with league wrecking upside is more or less what that is. It's great. It's just great marketing. It's great branding by me.
No, I love that. Yeah, that is great. Because everybody asks every year, who is the Exodia? Yeah. Was Darnell Mooney one of yours last year? I know you're super high on him. Like you got me onto Darnell Mooney. He was 140 last year.
No, but if I had a separate draft plan for best ball, he would have for sure been there. He was like the most mispriced player in best ball.
Yeah, and this is where the term comes from. Is from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah. Do you know about Yu-Gi-Oh? You were probably way too old for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, I never played Yu-Gi-Oh. Or it's a game, right? Like you play it.
Yeah, it's like Magic the Gathering sort of, but it had its own cartoon show.
Way too old, a little bit offensive. I mean, I'm like what, 10 years older than you, maybe?
Yeah, but that's the thing is like, I was 10 when Yu-Gi-Oh was the craze,
That
and
is
so
true.
if
So
you're
I was
20,
way too old. Yeah,
it's
at
like,
20.
dude,
That is actually fair.
you should have a girlfriend or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, did not play Yu-Gi-Oh. So Romeo Dobbs goes at 141. So
This
he's
is like
usually
such a
somebody that,
Scott Barrett team. Yeah.
yeah, we're just not correlating. We do have some other options to potentially correlate.
When did Stephon Diggs go?
He goes before May. He
Yeah.
went here 73, which is I think his ADP is probably around 80. So that's a little bit earlier than he usually goes, but not too far off.
What would you do if I dropped a diss track on you, Neil, out of nowhere?
I would love that. Dylan Sampson is this is like later than you can usually get him right now. Are you buying the dip on Dylan Sampson, or the buying him before he rises too much?
So I don't like Dylan Sampson, but I won't hate on you for taking him.
All right, that's all I really need. I just think like with the Quinshon Judkins situation, like the opportunity is really strong there potentially.
Yeah.
Which outweighs the like profile at this part of the draft.
Yeah.
Charlie says 10 years of pop culture is a lifetime. That is true. Actually, I was way too old for it. I did have a girlfriend, by the way.
Nice.
All right, we are up to 2551. I think we probably, I mean, this the sidekick thinks we should take another quarterback. We could just take one of these Patriots. Hunter Henry, Pop Douglas, other are also options. Do you like either Geno or Bryce Young? We have Brock Purdy on the team. We don't have any. Oh, Bryce Young goes. So Geno Smith is an option since we have Brock Purdy, or we could go with like Pop Douglas, Hunter Henry.
I'm cool with Hunter Henry.
Let's do that.
I mean, yeah, Pop Douglas is fine too. I don't know. You're the stacking guy. My threshold for player I'm more excited to take versus making the stack work is probably a lot higher than yours.
Oh, definitely. Well, I mean, you're like you spend all your time researching players, so you want to push that edge because like who else has that edge? There's very few people who spend as much time as you do looking at players, so it makes sense for you to want to push that edge. Whereas I spend more time than most looking at players, looking at the fantasy points data suite, but it's still not like you are with the players. So
I'm really excited. My good buddy Aaron H, he was a legend in the best ball streets before Underdog was a thing, back when it was only MFL 10s. And so like the top power users would draft like 100 teams, and he would draft 1,000 teams, and his win rate would beat everyone every year, which is like win rate, which is so insane. So like
they tracked it and told you like everybody's win rate, right?
Yeah, you could see everyone's win rate. And so like a really good player would win 1 out of every 9 leagues, and he was winning like 1 out of every 6, which is just insane. And he's finally gotten into Underdog and DraftKings tournament style leagues this year. And so I'm excited to see how he does, but he kind of views it the same way as me, where he's not forcing the stacks too much. And he is the final few rounds, he does not diversify. He just goes out and gets the best value, who to me is probably like a Keenan Allen right now.
Oh, really? That's interesting. I was just talking about Keenan Allen in the last draft as somebody that I took him in that draft. Somebody that I was really on, and then kind of got talked off him from some people talking about his efficiency being down last year. And then we looked at it and it was like, wasn't
great
that bad
last year. Yeah. He led the team in ass. He led the team in yards per game minus screens. And like DJ Moore is a top 12 highest paid wide receiver. Roma Dunze was a top 12 pick. So I think he's still got it. If I had to guess, he has like a fat offer from the Patriots, who are desperate to surround Drake May with playmakers, but he's like really just trying to needle Harbaugh to give him a better deal so he can go back home. That's my guess, but maybe that's just in my fantasies.
Scott, you said that you want haters right now. And I have got a hater.
Let's go.
Tumio says, just subscribe to say that taking McCarthy 2 rounds earlier than Love is stupid. You're stupid. 2 miles in a cart. No, McCarthy is my dude.
Well, we didn't take McCarthy 2 rounds earlier than Love.
No, I actually don't know if he's trying to hate on us. He might be trying to hate on. No, McCarthy only went couple of picks before us.
Yeah.
I think it all depends on the rest of your team. If I'm being honest, it's like if I have Vikings, I'll take JJ McCarthy. I like JJ McCarthy better than Jordan Love. Maybe not 2 rounds better though. Like I think that's a fair.
I have my rankings here somewhere, but I think I do like Love more than McCarthy.
You have him ranked ahead of McCarthy? Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, I just was reading through Matthew. Like you said you want more haters. You miss having haters, and then the next tweet I see is you responding to a Matthew Berry article from several months ago talking about how often he hits, which is true. And then I was reading that, so I started reading that and thought that was always a good read. The like what he's learning from coaches.
The combine.
The combine.
Yeah, so I read that article every year, and then I like always go back to it when I'm like going through my rankings, and like the hit rate he has on that is pretty crazy. Where it comes out really early in the season, he's like, I can see this guy getting traded, this guy getting traded, this guy getting traded, and like you read it at the time, you're like, that's insane.
I went Pop Douglas.
Yeah, that's fine. And then it happens. And so I was just going back over it again because I had in my notes for Bucky Irving, one of his, he talked to one of his team sources who said Bucky Irving's for sure the guy. But here's the thing is like, they think Sean Tucker could be an RB1 on almost any other team.
Yeah, I read that too.
I read that. Rachaad White.
I have a thread coming out soon on Twitter that I have to get approved before I can release it. But I did a thread on just 5 of my favorite players who are taken in under 30% of DraftKings drafts. And Sean Tucker was already on that list for me, just looking through like the coach speak and all that stuff. And then I went and saw your response to Matthew. I started reading it and it was like, oh wow, that's even more bullish than I thought, the way they talk about him. So yeah, it's okay. Daniel Jones is here if we want him. Jalen Knoll, Aaron Rodgers, Pat Bryant. Anybody like you're looking at ADP?
Daniel Jones sounds good. How many tight ends do you have?
2. Oh, no, yeah. Bowers and Hunter Henry.
Yeah. Is Ertz still there? No.
No, Ertz is gone. Not. All right. So you want me to? I'll read off the team now. So we're at 3-5-6-2. We have Malik Neighbors, Brock Bowers, Kyron Williams, Omarion Hampton, Kenneth Walker, Chris Olave, Josh Downs, Darnell Mooney, Drake May, Cam Scatterbu, Jordan Love, Luther Burden, Dylan Sampson, Hunter Henry, Pop Douglas, and Daniel Jones. So we're probably a little bit behind at wide receiver. Like we go Malik Neighbors and then don't take another until Olave, Downs, Mooney,
right,
Burden, Pop Douglas in 20 rounds.
We'll take Keenan. We'll take a few other dart throws.
We'll take Keenan if this room lets us after. Yeah, he just went. Yeah. Which this is not too far off from his ADP. But there are other. We'll find some that we like. Let's see. Are you high on any of the Packers receivers, Scott? Like Golden versus Reed. I guess I'll ask you that to start because they go kind of next to each other.
Probably Reed, but not really high on any of them. It's just like, capped upside given this like super gross receiver committee rotation. And so, I mean, if you're going to draft them anywhere, it would be best ball, but I just don't see a ton of upside the way they're used in that offense. But if Jaden Reed finally gets involved in 2 wide receiver sets, like he could for sure be a league winner for sure.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, I feel like opinions are very varied between those two, and I keep going back and forth. I'm like, Reed feels safer to me, like, because Golden could just be bad, whereas Reed I think is actually pretty good, but then also he's never been a full-time player, and I don't know if he's going to this year. I've heard that Reed maybe like could have been limited in part by injury last year. I forget if it was like a wrist injury or what it was exactly, but maybe that had something to do with the route participation. Do you think there's any possibility that he does like take a step up and he's 85% route participation this year?
Maybe. I remember around the time that they drafted Matthew Golden, there was this like weird tweet from Adam Schefter that was like, Matt LaFleur has made it, known to Jaden Reed's agent and himself that he would still be the clear wide receiver one of the team, and they're expecting big things next year. And it's just like weird, or it's like Jaden Reed like was pissy about this draft pick, and like, but yeah, maybe they made because like Romeo Dobbs like held out for a week. That was so bizarre, and like maybe Reed did something similar and he promised him more work. I have no idea. The way they talked about Golden in the post-draft press conference was sort of like he would be in the Christian Watson, Dontavian Wicks role, which is actually like a really awesome role if you have hands and your hamstrings don't randomly explode. So I could see them both, paying off their ADP in a best ball format, but just in terms of like breaking leagues, I don't know. There's always like someone else in that range I like more.
Yeah.
Does Scott like Kraft and redraft? Yeah, he's okay. He's another one of those guys where it's like, I think he's really, really good. And they're saying they want to get him more involved, but like, I just don't trust LaFleur. Like all we've ever seen is these like really gross rotations where it's a different guy every week and it's just not as much volume as they deserve. So he's not one of my guys, but I like the player.
Yeah. Can I remind you guys to please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. Come in and tell me that JJ McCarthy is a dumb pick, which I guess we didn't take him. You can hit the notification bell to get alerts when shows go live, all of that. Very helpful, very much appreciated. You can comment under the video. We are on the clock, by the way. Brashard Smith is here. Miles Sanders. Pat Fryermuth. Anybody you like here?
I mean, I didn't know Miles Sanders went this late. Jeez, that's great. That's a great pick.
Love it. Okay. I got your bless. Debro like hates it. He's like, we were on the clock at 2:20 and he's like, what? You can't take Miles Sanders. He sucks. And I was like, he's going so late.
Dude, okay. Yeah, there's beat writers who said he was the first running back getting touches in that
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I feel so much better hearing you say
I had no idea
right?
He went that late. Yeah.
Javonte Williams goes like pick 121, I think is ADP. Which I don't feel like they should be that different. Do you agree with that?
What was it?
Javonte Williams goes around pick 121, like his ADP. Miles Sanders like 190 ADP. I feel like they should be pretty close.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And like Jadon Blue goes like pick 150.
Yeah. Oh, he goes before Sanders. That's crazy.
Oh, by a lot, yeah.
He stinks. Right, and then there's horrible news on him too.
Adonai Mitchell, Tutu Atwell, Trey Tucker. Anybody you like here?
None of those guys. Jeez.
Even AD Mitchell, the Ascot. Dontavian Wicks. We could take Dontavian Wicks. I'm just going to queue him up, and then we can.
Deontay else? Johnson. Fuck it.
Where's Deontay? There he is.
YOLO.
All right, let's do it. I like that.
That's a great YOLO pick.
Yeah, no, I think that was a good call for this team because we also like need that upside kind of, I think, on this team with these wide receivers.
You said you don't like Jerry Jeudy, so Deontay's like out targeted him in like every year but one.
Yeah. Peppertoni G's. I don't know if I should like the video. The host called me stupid within a minute of joining for saying love will have. All right. Didn't mean it. I assumed that he was coming in here to hate on my JJ McCarthy take. I don't actually believe you're stupid. I do like JJ McCarthy better than Jordan Love. But no, it's you don't have to love him. A lot of people don't love JJ McCarthy. I'll take those shares. All right. What wide receivers should we be looking for in the late rounds here?
I don't know. You're the one who has this thread coming up.
Yeah, let me see if any of these late receivers are on here. I know Debro loves Jalen Royals.
Yeah, Brett loves Jalen Royals, and he liked him before the Rashee Rice news.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
was not expecting much from him this year.
Yeah, me neither.
The
only reason I like him is really just because Brett shouted him out.
I've sort of come around to Tutu Atwell, who just went, so he's not somebody we need to worry about. Kavontae Turpin, actually somebody that I have not drafted, but I think I need to start mixing him in.
Jalen Naylor is probably the wide receiver 3, and I feel like that role in that offense is good for 3 random games with 18 or more points, and then just nothing the rest of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not. I can't decide if I think Jalen Naylor or if Ty Felton is just going to take the job, because Naylor wasn't that amazing last year.
Yeah, I know Chris was worried about it, and then I remember him tweeting some screenshot where it's like, "Oh, never mind, Naylor's for sure the guy."
So that's the one thing. Prior to that, I thought for sure it was going to be Felton, but that was based on some beat writer. That's not based on the coaches. I don't think. I think it's just the beat writer saying oh no, he's the wide receiver 3. I don't know. It's just to me, beat writers saying that the veteran is the wide receiver 3 in June doesn't mean that much to me. So I'm
right.
But Chris is, he does this for a living. He probably has a better read on the situation than I do. So I will acknowledge that. But I think by the time the season starts, the round 3 wide receiver taking over would not be that surprising, because Naylor was not that great by any of the advanced metrics last year. What do you do with so that's a situation that I don't know what to make of it. So Naylor's yards per route run really bad last year, but he was also on the Vikings playing with Jordan Addison, with TJ Hawkinson, with Justin Jefferson. So it's do we just give him a break, because nobody's going to have great yards per route run as the wide receiver 3 with those players ahead of him?
I think that's right. I do.
Okay.
He was good by ass, and so I just think he's a guy who he's good by ass every year. So
that's right. That's right. That's why I drafted him last year a lot.
Right,
I think.
Right. And they've hyped him up quite a bit. The Kevin O'Connell quotes have been very, very gushing in praise.
Okay.
Which I think is a good sign for when you're talking about a player like this, when he just drafted a rookie.
Yeah.
And I think I remember the presser too, when they drafted him. It was kind of oh, this is depth.
Let's do it. Jalen Naylor, come on down.
Where does Samaje Perine go? Because I
he
just
doesn't.
saw a touch. Oh, really? He's pretty good.
You like Perine?
Yeah.
I have not drafted any Perine yet.
I mean, I really don't venture this deep into drafts all that often, but I probably like him more than Brooks. And I liked Brooks. I like Brooks as a prospect, but it just seems clear that Samaje is the RB2 with a role on the offense, and then the coaches trust him, and we've seen in the past where Mixon would
Perine just went, by the way.
Oh, interesting.
We could probably use another receiver, I think. So we're at 3.
All right, click on wide receiver for me.
Yep.
Man, Jermaine Burton. Imagine if he's a thing. That would be so interesting. Wait, scroll all the way up.
This is top of ADP.
Yeah.
6 seconds.
Oh man, is that for real?
Yep. We're going Coker.
Josh Reynolds.
It's just too late. We got Jalen Coker.
What about? Can you search Josh Reynolds? Did he already go?
He did not go.
Oh damn, he's an awesome pick. He's just you listen to any beat writer, he's far and away the number 2 receiver in that offense.
I don't think I've taken the Josh Reynolds share.
Damn, was I too slow? Oh no, you're on the clock. No,
we're off the clock. Yeah.
My bad. Well, yeah. Make note of that for your next draft, I guess.
Yeah. Two Meals comes back, says, is this a safe space for trolling Rice drafters? How about Pacheco and Scadaboo? Literally, the only player that you cannot troll is JJ McCarthy, because he's one that I'm super high on. That's why I assumed he was trolling, because he's talking about the one player that I keep bringing up in every stream. You can troll whoever you want. I'm still taking those guys. Those are all players that I actually like, but you can even troll JJ McCarthy. I actually don't care, but I'm going to draft him anyway. Our team is done here, Scott.
Wow, look at us.
3-6-9-2. Malik Neighbors, Brock Bowers, Kyron Williams, Omarion Hampton, Kenneth Walker, Chris Olave, Josh Downs, Darnell Mooney, Drake May, Cam Scadaboo, Jordan Love, Luther Burden, Dylan Sampson, Hunter Henry, Pop Douglas, Daniel Jones, Miles Sanders, Deontay Johnson, Jalen Naylor, and Jalen Coker is the final team. We did end up with Daniel Jones paired up with, with Josh Downs. We have Jordan Love completely unstacked, but we have Drake May double stacked with Hunter Henry and Pop Douglas. I think it's a good team. I think it ends up working out. What do you think?
I think this team just made me $1 million, Neil.
And it didn't cost $1 million. You're right. This is it's $2 million to first. So this one we can each get $1 million out of it.
That's pretty great. And what are we gonna do with it, Neil?
We're gonna take a vacation somewhere tropical. I assume.
Hell yeah.
Somewhere maybe like the Greek Isles. I don't know. Like where do you want to go?
Idaho?
Boise, Idaho. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Have you talked about the Jonnu Smith trade at all?
I mean, yeah, of course.
What are your thoughts on that? What do you think that does to Pat Freiermuth?
I think it moves him down a little bit. Like, so I'm actually, wait, are you going to do another draft with me or?
No, I get a run.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So then let's talk about, I've been drafting some Pat Freiermuth around pick 195, 200 on DraftKings. Jonnu Smith is still going like pick 135, 140. So the way I'm approaching it is I think it makes Pat Freiermuth a little bit worse. Still draftable though, again, late. I'm not taking any Jonnu where he's going. Like that just seems too early for me where he's splitting. What are you doing with it?
So I was looking into this and Pat Freiermuth so I'm like, well, maybe Arthur Smith is just trying to make this offense like Rob Gronkowski, Aaron Hernandez, Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, where like it lives out of two tight end sets and the offense is better off for it. And then I looked at Pat Freiermuth's snap share last year. He had a 30% snap share in two tight end sets. And I think it was like 25% when everyone was healthy. So he was not on the field. Nicole Pruitt and Darnell Washington were. And then on one tight end or three tight end plays, he had like a 80% snap share. And it's like, that's so weird. What I really think happened is like, I think Arthur Smith just hates Pat Freiermuth. And I think he loves Jonnu Smith. And I think he's like, and I get why he loves Jonnu Smith. Like no one has ever been more vindicated about anything than Arthur Smith was for his love of Jonnu Smith. He kept playing Jonnu. People are like, you're an idiot. You know, Kyle Pitts.
Why are you playing this guy over snaps, Yeah, you're right.
More touches. And then like, look what happened. You change coaches. Jonnu Smith is like wide receiver 1 for the Dolphins, like a top 10 receiver in the second half last year. Kyle Pitts is dead. The new coaching staff is like, quit asking. He stinks. And and so he just wants his boy back. And it's like, all right, now the media is going to shut up and just watch what me and my guy Jonnu Smith does. And I just have to have so much respect, not respect, but like, he's the man. Like Arthur Smith, who we all hated, is kind of the man. Dude is like a nepotism hire, son of a billionaire who is in the Skull and Bones, who is just like literally playing Madden with an NFL team. Like, isn't that the dream, Neil?
Yeah, so he's living the dream. That's for sure.
That's what I want to do with my $1 million is like, let's buy the Giants. And
we're not going to be able to buy the Giants, but let's buy a UFL team at the very least, right? Let's buy a UFL team.
Maybe we could buy the league with our $2 million.
Yeah, maybe. Sadly,
the
league might not be around for us to buy at that point. The way things are going,
Underdog needs to roll out like a $50 billion grand prize, and then we need to buy the Cowboys.
or DraftKings. This stream is sponsored by DraftKings. So
That's true. Shout out, shout out DraftKings. They're the best.
Yeah, as pointed out, Pepperoni says his wife wants to spend time together. Yeah, I guess that's fair that you can spend time with your wife on your anniversary weekend. Do you have any really fun plans, or just some quality time?
We did some stuff yesterday and this morning, and we're gonna do some stuff tomorrow. So she kind of let me tonight. We're gonna watch UFC. We're gonna cook.
Nice. That's fun.
I'm gonna get a little bit of work done that I need to catch up on some emails and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Scott does a UFC podcast for anybody who
I actually don't anymore. We kind
you don't
shuttered that. Just don't have the time, but I'll bring it back once I hit $1 million for this grand prize.
You're going to quit all the football stuff and focus on your true love of UFC.
Right.
All right.
Though no one ever watched.
Well, I really appreciate you hopping on here. This was fun. I do want to do another stream together very, very soon. Maybe get back together with Debra, with Coach Beak Index, but we'll talk about that later. Or just you. Either way, it's always fun.
Love you, Neil.
Love you too. Thanks, Scott. Catch you later. All right, I am going to do one more draft and be done with my 20 streamed drafts here momentarily. That's not the one I want. I want this one. However, I'm going to take a bathroom break. Trying to decide if I want to join the draft right now and then run and do the bathroom break, because we'll get the 2 minutes here. Maybe I'll do that. I'm going to get into the draft. Then I'm going to throw on my my ad read, and then I'm going to get back and do the draft. So let's go. I'm going to go to the lobby. Click on the $20 enter if you want to get in with me. Get in now. All right, we're in. Now I'm going to run the ad, and I will be back in a couple minutes. 1 second here. All right, I'll be right back. Football season is right around the corner, and there's no better way to lock in your fantasy dominance early than with Best Ball on DraftKings, where you draft once and ride your roster all season long. And right now, DraftKings is giving all customers a can't-miss offer. Draft one, get one. Enter a lineup in the $15 million Best Ball contest for just $20, and you'll score another Best Ball ticket to play free for a share of $15 million, giving you a second shot to win big. It's easy. Just draft your team once, no weekly management required, and let your top scorers automatically start each week. Across the whole season, every breakout star, every clutch play, every touchdown will count toward your quest for a share of $15 million. Download the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app now to draft your $20 Best Ball lineup and get a second ticket to play free for a share of $15 million. That's 2 chances to win big without ever setting your lineup again. Draft one, get one. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Football season is right around the corner, and there's no better way to lock in your fantasy dominance early than with Best Ball on DraftKings, where you draft once and ride your roster all season long. And right now, DraftKings is giving all customers a can't-miss offer. Draft one, get one. Enter a lineup in the $15 million Best Ball contest for just $20, and you'll score another Best Ball ticket to play free for a share of $15 million, giving you a second shot to win big. It's easy. Just draft your team once, no weekly management required, and let your top scorers automatically start each week. Across the whole season, every breakout star, every clutch play, every touchdown will count toward your quest for a share of $15 million. Download the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app now to draft your $20 Best Ball lineup and get a second ticket to play free for a share of $15 million. That's 2 chances to win big without ever setting your lineup again. Draft one, get one. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. There we go. Are we in? We ready? Draft about to start. Got the 11 spot. Anybody in here with me? Chris Air back in here. We got Billy back in here. Billy, I thought you were done. CK Cash, is this the guy who won the Millie last year? K Sizzle. I feel like I know a lot of people in here. I don't know if you're in the chat though. I think this is Chris Cash. I think Chris Cash, right? Is that your name? This will be my final draft of the day. Well, my final stream draft of the day. I'll be drafting later. Let's see here. JJJ says, let's force a true 0 RB if it lines up for us. I mean, I'm in a spot where I very well could do that. You think I'm going to get Nico and BTJ? Not opposed to it. We'll see what falls, though. Yeah, thank you. Texas Politics says, good luck, Neil. Can't wait for DFS season. Me neither. It's coming soon. It's coming very soon. Peppertoni says, this is a Derrick Henry team. I mean, if he falls to me in the 3rd round, for sure, I'd take him at 35. See, now with Christian McCaffrey here. Okay, he goes. I do really like Nico. I'm going to take Nico ahead of Genty. Although every offensive line ranking I've seen has the Texans 32nd, which is not great. Does concern me a little bit. But they were really bad last year, and Nico was still awesome. So there you go. It was predicted. It was foretold. Nico BTJ. You were right. I like that start. Who said that? JJJ. Nico BTJ, I bet here. Right on. I am currently a full DK drafter. I draft a lot of everything. But yeah, I'll be maxing out this contest, playing some of the 555, some of the $3.20 max, the $59 contests. I play a lot on DraftKings, but yeah, I'm not exclusively drafting there throughout the summer. I'm DraftKings exclusive for DraftKings Best Ball Week, which ends tomorrow. And then I'll still be drafting on DraftKings, but I'll be doing other stuff also. You got a Puka Bowers Higgins stack earlier. That must be rare, I bet. I thought about pulling up the Python stuff so that I could quickly search for those different combos. I did not get that ready for today. Ridley at 67 feels pretty good. Mike asked, did Scott sway you with any of his takes? Don't think he knows how different a bunch of his firm takes are from sharp best ball people. Yeah, it's a different game. So like he comes from a season-long perspective, but he plays some best ball. He says he's not a best ball guy, but he'll play some every year. I think he's okay with being different than the market in general. Like I think he knows that some of his takes are going to be different than the market. Similar to Debro, like they both know like this is going to be a hot take relative to sharp best ball people, and they're okay just being a little bit different. I think he did sway me with. I'm trying to think of. There was at least one late that he really swayed me on, and I'm trying to think of what it was. I don't know. Once we get to the rounds where I'm making some decisions, I'm sure he did. Scott's always going to sway me some. He's a really sharp guy. I don't think he swayed me off of Travis Hunter. I think I'm still in on Travis Hunter late 5th round. I'm always a stacking guy. I'm always going to stack. Python guy. I just mean you can download the data through June 20th. They gave out all of they posted all the drafts that happened in the Really Maker, the $20 through June 27th. So I just put that data into program called Jupyter. I've never done this before. To be clear, I'm not speaking like a language that I know well here, but just use ChatGPT to help me sort through that data, and you can, using that, quickly figure out like different player combos. Like how often are these 3 players, have they been drafted in it was 15,108 drafts through June 27th. how many times has this trio of players been taken through that many drafts? You can like look up that stuff really quickly when you have it up. Because it's not something I do a lot, I have to like, it takes me a minute to get it all set up. I have to like think through like, all right, how do I ask this question? And then sometimes I have to like ask them to reformat it a little bit. So yeah, just something I need to set up a little bit for me to be able to do it correctly. Probably somebody who's better with Python and actually knows how to like do it themselves can do it pretty quickly. JJ says, so everyone in your spot usually goes Brees or Cook. I think you got to get different. Yeah, I don't usually go Cook there. I do sometimes go Brees. I had Steve Shoup on from Fanspeak, who's a really sharp guy. He's really in on James Cook. He's the only person I know. So he made the bull case for James Cook. I feel like all of us are, most best ball players are pretty out on James Cook this year. He did make a good case for him. I feel like the vibe is off for me. So he could not quite convince me to be taking a ton of James Cook. Wouldn't be shocked if I end up regretting it, but the vibe's just a little bit off there for James Cook for me. Oh, Terry McLaurin. I would not have minded Terry McLaurin. I'm going to go with Kittle here. I do still like Xavier Worthy better than Scott and Debro do. He did sort of convince me that I should maybe not like be afraid to take Rashee Rice in the 4th round sometimes. All right, I'm going to break the 0 RB because Omarion Hampton is just a guy that I'm trying to get a ton of right now before he moves too far up the board. So yeah, we're not going true 0 RB in this one. I don't like to go into a draft with like a set, this is what I'm doing in this draft. I like to just like let the draft board tell me what to do. I could have gone Xavier Worthy there to stick with the 0 RB, but I'm making sure that I get on top of the Hampton exposure before the field pushes them up too far. Because Najee starting on the NFI list. The reports were really bad, like right away, and then we've got some more positive speak about him, but it's coming from his agent, who is likely kind of biased. So the fact that like the initial reports are really bad on his eye injury, and now he's starting on the NFI list, I'm like, I still think there's a world in which they don't really know how quickly his eye is going to recover. I guess is what I assume right now. It's like I'm hoping for the best for him as a human being, but I have to like keep in mind there's a reasonable chance that his eye is going to take longer than they're expecting. Omarion Hampton has some time to get his claws into that backfield, and like they took him in the 2nd round, and it's a team that likes to run and has a good offensive line. So I'm really in on Omarion Hampton. Now, Debro was on the channel earlier. Actually, I think a couple people have been. Maybe JJ also not fully in on Omarion Hampton. And they would make the case that Greg Roman offenses typically don't throw to the running back a ton, which is one of those things that I don't know the coaches as well as a lot of the people who have been doing fantasy football content for forever. So I do listen to them. I definitely am always going to factor in those opinions. But I also think if he's a good enough pass catcher, maybe they just kind of, cater to the players on their team, and maybe he catches more passes than we're expecting. And regardless, I think he'll have a lot of running work. Mike Dick says, who are your current IKB guys that you pull up the most often? I'm the Eagles diehard from earlier with the massive Dallas pass game stacks due to being forced to know them so well. Who do I pull up the board the most often? That's a good question. Probably Jaden Higgins, Trey Harris, like that combo. I think I pull up, I shouldn't say combo, individuals. Individually, I think I pull both of them up quite a bit. I wouldn't say I pull up Kenneth Walker. Pickens probably on that list. Bowers actually on DraftKings, although I'm doing it less because sometimes you'll get Trey McBride in the third round. So I like to allow for the possibility of that fall. I mean, Omari Hampton's certainly one of them. Dylan Sampson is one that I've been doing a lot recently. And actually Jerome Ford. Say both of those are definite IKB guys. Yeah, it's probably more in later rounds. A lot of the guys that I get a ton of exposure to are like Jalen Noel, who's like, I'm not really reaching for him. It's just he's always available there, and I think he's a great late round click. I get a lot of Dallas Goedert, but it's not like I'm going on my way to get him. Actually, RJ Harvey just went. He's one that I will go out of my way to get sometimes. See, Kenneth Walker is here at pick 59, and Travis Hunter, and Travion Henderson. I do like Kenneth Walker better than Travion Henderson by a fair amount, so I don't want to like... Yeah, I think I got to go Kenneth Walker here. I do like Travis Hunter as well, but I think Scott made a strong point about the downside. All right, Travis Hunter goes. There's also a strategy bit in why I didn't take Travis Hunter there. I'll go over it after my next pick. See, I'm not going true zero RB at all. All right, do I go Trevion? I don't have a ton of Rome. Maybe I should. Maybe I should like Rome better. Yeah, I'm going to go Rome now that I have two strong running backs already. All right, so the strategy point for why I didn't go Travis Hunter here is because we're at the end, I'm going to have the first shot at Trevor Lawrence if I want him over the 12 hole here. So letting him get Travis Hunter as the other Jacksonville piece that you would pair with Trevor Lawrence just kind of gives me the upper hand as far as like, where do I want to take him? So like if he wants him at 108, 109, great. But if it comes back to my pick at 131 and Trevor Lawrence is there, I'm going to have the first opportunity to take him before the 12 hole. So I'd rather have him get Travis Hunter than anybody else on the board. Now, obviously, somebody could take Trevor Lawrence completely unstacked. Happens all the time on DraftKings. Not with Trevor Lawrence as much as other quarterbacks. But it's fairly likely because he took him instead of somebody on this side of the board. It's more likely now that Trevor Lawrence will come back to me at pick 131, which, seems like pretty good value to me when I have BTJ on the team. So it's kind of like one of those, I'm happy either way. I can get Travis Hunter, double stack him with Brian Thomas, or he goes to the player on the turn and I can have the first shot at Trevor Lawrence later. One second. Yeah, I mean, you would sometimes see Omar and Hampton fall to the mid-fifth round, and I loved him when he was going. Maybe not. I don't think I ever saw him go to the mid-fifth, but like in the fifth. Could have done Hunter double, but yeah, I guess I just explained why I didn't do that. I would have taken it on the other side of the turn, to be clear. Any takes within your beloved Vikings division? I think it's a really good division. Who do I think is the best team in the division, the worst team in the division, or just like fantasy takes? Let's see. Vikings, I think great offense. I'm very much in on the Vikings as a whole. I generally like Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones about the same on DraftKings. I do rank Aaron Jones ahead because it's a full PPR site. I think the pass catching, like the upside a little bit higher for Aaron Jones, given his pass catching role. And just like he's always been very good. But I think I have them pretty close, basically back to back on DraftKings. I've already gone over. I really like Justin Jefferson, JJ McCarthy, etc. Packers, I think it's a really strong stack to take, I guess. Like I do take a ton of Jordan Love I don't have a really strong take about Jaden Reed versus Matthew Golden. It kind of depends on what I need to some extent. I sort of feel like the upside is higher with Matthew Golden, actually, just like if he could be a full-time wide receiver. We've never seen Jaden Reed as a full-time receiver. Maybe I don't fully believe that, because there is a part of me that thinks maybe they just decide, hey, we should just use this guy more. This guy has been good for us, and he gets a full-time role. But the fact they haven't done that yet, I don't know. Seems pretty unlikely. I love Romeo Dobbs, Tucker Kraft, really, really strong picks where they go on DraftKings. See here is Matthew Golden. Could throw him on here. Josh Downs, Jordan Addison. Oh, this is a nice spot for Jordan Addison, actually. Gives me the JJ out. That's pretty late for Addison. He is falling. I don't know why. Like, people didn't already anticipate the suspension. Surprises me a bit. I forgot I have Kittle. All right, Downs goes. A little bit of a fall for Pearsall. I have not drafted a ton of Pearsall, and I've talked to some very sharp people who really, really like him. I'm going to take a shot there. So yeah, Packers. I think Tucker Kraft is just a dog. I think he's a really nice pick where he goes. I think Jordan Love is a good value where he goes. I think Romeo Dobbs is a great value where he goes. Yeah. So my phone almost died, but I made my picks and got to my car. Very nice, very nice. It takes, like, I think Savion Williams is a fine final round dart, just as a. And I think I talked to JJ about him as a, like, he seems like he should be like really exciting because he's a receiver he's like 6'4", this big dude, who's like a talented enough receiver who also like carried the ball, like got 6 rushing touchdowns last year. Like seems like a late round flyer and like in an open wide receiver room. So like we should be really excited about him, but also like the team has said they're just going to use him as a receiver. They're not planning on using him as a rusher. And they do have, even though it's wide open, there are a lot of receivers ahead of him. So I don't know. I want to be excited about Savion Williams. I think I'm ready for like any buzz about him, and I will get there. And then I think Marshawn Lloyd is a strong late round pick. I'm like a light fade, I think, on Josh Jacobs, but he's that's just kind of my bias against early running backs, because I like to take a lot of late flyers on some of the later running backs. And Josh Jacobs getting up there, he has a lot of mileage on him, so I'm light fade on Josh Jacobs. I still think he's like he could just crush like he did last year. I expect the Packers to throw a little bit more. And yeah, I think Marshawn Lloyd a pretty strong bet. Emmanuel Wilson actually like a fine final round dart throw. Player doesn't get drafted all the time. What else? Bears. I don't have any great takes on the Bears. I have not drafted a ton of them. I have not drafted. I'm trying to think, who did I have on that's super in? I think it was JSU is super in on the Bears. Because they added Ben Johnson. A lot of people are expecting them to take a big step forward. Certainly could happen. I think I'm below market on all of the early Bears. So like I don't have a ton of DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, DeAndre Swift, but then I have a fair amount of later Bears. So I have a fair amount of Luther Burden, for example. I think he's a great pick where he's going in drafts. I think Colston Loveland a pretty strong pick where he goes in drafts. Caleb, I think, is like sometimes I'll set up a back stack with Caleb. I actually don't have a ton of Caleb because I don't take the players that go earlier, so I just like don't prioritize him. I'm surprised the sidekick wants me to take Caleb before Purdy. I think I'm going to override that. Go Purdy. Maybe a bye week thing. I don't know if I have another quarterback with a or just like in The Sims, you just did better in this batch. Now I could take Caleb here. Could add Ayuk on. All right, I'll get a share. I'll get a share of Caleb. Appreciate that. Mike says, I'm pretty sure this in-division question is a cheat code for great takes and content. You're asking someone who's super invested in teams they watch and keep tabs on constantly and value details. That is, I certainly know the NFC North better than other divisions, so that's probably true. And I'm not even like a hardcore Vikings homer or anything, so I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm as invested as a lot of Vikings fans are, but also I watch all their games, so I do end up watching these teams a lot more. And I guess I do pay more attention. So yeah, you're probably right. That probably is a good cheat code if you can find content creators who like care about teams. A lot of people don't because they're too into more into fantasy football, which I am also. But still, yeah, I guess I do have some takes there. Tumio says, you mentioned all the Packers except the best value on the board. Wicks went in the 19th round is the best value on the whole board. That's take. That is a pretty hot take there. I don't totally like. I think Wicks is a fine 20th round pick. I don't think he's completely dead necessarily. I was very in on Wicks last year, and it did not go great for me. But I think he's a fine pick. He was the most targeted receiver on the team last year, famously. Yeah, that's I'm also not. Maybe it's better if the content creator like knows the division better, but also is not like a huge homer. Although I don't know if Davis is actually a huge Kansas City homer. I would guess that he's not really. He just thought the team was going to pass more last year, which I think was a reasonable take. And it just did not go. I mean, Rashee Rice is going to be an absolute smash until he got hurt. He is, you think? All right. I mean, I guess his player takes he takes a ton of Chiefs, so probably like if Loveland is there, I think I'd be more inclined to go with Loveland before Burden. I have more Burden. He just goes later on DraftKings. Is Loveland? Yeah, he's still here. What's the ADP there? 131. He's got the Q tag. You never know with the players with Q tags. Do I have other quarterback outs? I assume JJ went. Yeah, JJ went 102. All right. And Stroud went. So with apologies to C Jack, going to take this opportunity, take Trevor Lawrence. Luther Burden. I wondered if he was going to do that. I think these are spite picks. Maybe not. They could just be trying to team stack there. But I had a feeling if I went Trevor Lawrence, this guy might do the double Chicago out of spite. Do I want Christian Kirk or Dallas Goedert? I've got Kittle. I'm gonna go Kirk. That's one of those like I don't really care because I wasn't counting on them. I already have Rome Odunze. I would have taken one of them, to be clear, if either of them fell. But JJ says he spited you. That was personal. I kind of think you're right. If I didn't already have a Bears player, then I would be hurt. But I'll take a single stack. Have a mix of single stacks, double stacks, what have you. I've got the San Francisco double stack. Got the T-Law double stack. I'm feeling good about this team. Got that full game stack, San Francisco and Chicago. I always think Jacksonville is playing Tampa for some reason. That's always my first thought. And then I have to remember, no, they're not playing Tampa. They're playing the Colts, which I'm probably not. DJ Giddens will be there. I could take DJ Giddens. What's up, Andrew? We're having some disagreements. Savion Williams, Peppertoni says, is free, and they just drafted him in the 3rd round because they hate Wicks. Two Mules says, first, Golden was drafted to replace Watson. Savion's hands to Wicks' hands. Hey, Kettle, this is pot, you're black. I think that the issue for me with Wicks, like the reason I'm not excited to take him is they gave him a ton of opportunities last year and he just did not take advantage. He dropped it too much. Like he was the most targeted Packers receiver, which usually you like that, except for when he was the most targeted Packers receiver, he still didn't produce. And then they went out and got a couple more receivers, which to me is kind of an indication that they're not excited about running it back with him. But I don't think it's a terrible click. I think there is a world in which they still like him. They still believe in his separation. He can fix his catching issues. Andrew in on JT. I assume this means you're in on JT. Yes, JT gonna have a mid-league season and get to form just in time to go for 170-2 at home versus the Tane Jabs. No, it's gonna be 170-1 because he's gonna drop the ball before it gets to the end zone. Dylan Sampson goes. I wanted Dylan Sampson. Sad. Is there anybody I'm forgetting here? I don't think so. I think I just go Bretton Strange. Get my Jags double. Is Trey Benson a value here? They keep talking about getting in more involved. I only have 2 running backs so far. I really like Eckler. Yeah, I'll get a share here. I think he's a fine bet. James Conner, I think, still really good, and I think he's still the bell cow as long as he's healthy, but he also has a lot of miles on him. I feel pretty good about my first 2 running backs with Hampton and Walker. So taking the upside bet on Benson, I think, makes sense. Pepperoni says Savion, wide receiver 2 and running back 2 for the Packers. That's bullish. I hope not, because I've drafted some Marshawn Lloyd. This is my last draft, Andrew. Tumio says Packers fan since 1967. All right, so that explains the Jordan Love. Watched every down. Most of the throws to Wicks were horrible. Same thing you said about Adams after year 2. Wicks ranked second in the league in getting open. All right. I'm trying to think, I think there's another receiver like that. Whereas every time they throw to him, it's just a bad throw. But I think I'm thinking actually of a UFL. There was a receiver in the UFL this year who, for some reason, every time the quarterback threw to that receiver, could not get him the ball. I mean, he's in the 19th round. I think he's a totally fine pick. So you think he's a better click than Romeo Doubs at 167? Because Romeo Doubs runs 85, 90% of the routes. The team clearly really likes him. I feel like he's a much safer click. And the upside is not that different to me. Or no, I think Romeo Doubs has higher upside and higher floor. And doesn't go that much earlier. I didn't finish my NFC North. Do I have any other Bears takes? I think Burden's a great value on DraftKings. The running backs, I take some late Kyle Monunga. I'm not super excited about it. Roshan, I think, is fine where he goes. I guess I don't have really strong Bears takes. Lions. I don't think I have any really. I think I'm largely out on the Lions. Amon-Ra, typically I'm taking Malik Neighbors over him. I'm taking Nico Collins over him. Yeah, so I don't think I take a ton of Amon-Ra. I know I don't take a ton of Jameson Williams where he goes. So even though I take a ton of Vikings, I still don't take a ton of Lions for the game stacks. I don't take a ton of Sam Laporta. And it's just because I think they're all slightly too expensive for what I'm expecting from them. They could take a big step forward this year. They're really injured last year. Their defense in particular really injured last year. So that could be good news for the running backs. I do take a fair amount of Jahmyr Gibbs. I think it's just a good click. I think it's just a talent. Pretty good offensive line. So I think Gibbs is a good pick. I think probably Montgomery is a good pick where he goes to. I'm a little bit nervous that they're just going to eventually say, let's just give the ball to Gibbs more. But I think he's still a fair pick where he goes. I don't take any other receivers on the Lions. Fantasy Guru Drew was just last night making a case for, I'm trying to remember who their wide receiver is. He was the same wide receiver 3 as last year. And now I'm blanking on the name. But probably a fine 20th round dart throw. Goff doesn't excite me. I'll take him if I happen to have one of the Lions on my team. But Ben Johnson's gone. They could get worse. Josh Palmer's still here. Just want to see if there's anybody else I really like here. My guy Jerome Ford went. All right, let's do it. Haven't really taken any Tank Bigsby. Yeah, I guess I've got stacks with both these running backs at the top. I guess I don't have Tootin. It's a little bit of a faller here. This seems like a good spot. Stacked up, take Tank Bigsby. All right. See, that's a play. That's an example. Somebody brought up any players that you're just full fading. And that's the spot where it's like, yeah, I don't love the pick, but he's 20 picks past ADP. Makes a ton of sense for this team. So I'll get a share here. Chris Mazzone asks, who is your Khalil Herbert this year? By that, he means player that I draft more than anybody else. Tell people how much I love him. And he does absolutely nothing. So that's probably Dylan Sampson or Jerome Ford, like the two players that are like the most likely to be complete zeros, who I draft a ton of and talk about them a lot. I'd say it's one of those two. No, I think Jerome Ford is my Khalil Herbert. I think at this point, maybe Dylan Sampson is my Dontavian Wicks, because Khalil Herbert was not like the consensus that everybody loved him. It was like my guy. Like people associate him more with me. Dontavian Wicks, Davis just like stole him from me. Like early on, I was super in on Dontavian Wicks. He was one of my guys, and then Davis just like, he didn't actually steal him from me, but like nobody associates Dontavian Wicks with me. They associate him with Davis. To be clear, I'm not saying he actually stole him from me. Dylan Sampson, I think, is going to be similar in that I think I was like super in on him early, but I think everybody's super in on him by now. So nobody's going to associate Dylan Sampson with me. So he's going to be like my Dontavian Wicks. Another player that I was very wrong on, just not as like publicly known for being super wrong about him. That's interesting. Tumio says, I think Golden is going to be a bust. Good chance Dobbs gets traded to Pitt. Management hasn't forgotten his stupid stunt last year. That does scare me a little bit. The stunt with Romeo Dobbs. Why do you say Pitt? Are there like rumors about Dobbs in Pittsburgh? Or just because they have an opening? Because they do. Like they could use a receiver. And I would not want him if he goes to Pittsburgh. Oh yeah, I forget that Rodgers and Dobbs overlapped. They couldn't have overlapped for very long. Wait, did they overlap? Isn't Dobbs only in like his third year, fourth year? You know better than I would. I mean, I should remember this. Can't think of the timelines exactly. How long ago was Rodgers in Green Bay? I guess it's 3 years ago. So maybe, yeah, his rookie year. 2 years with the Jets. Okay, yeah. All right, DJ Giddens with the game stack. It didn't take. up to 5 running backs. Throw Jordan James on. All right, so we are up to 3672. I've got Nico Collins, Brian Thomas Jr., George Kittle, Amarian Hampton, Kenneth Walker, Rome Odunze, Jordan Addison, Ricky Pearsall, Brock Purdy, Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, Christian Kirk, Brenton Strange, Trey Benson, Josh Palmer, Tank Bigsby, DJ Giddens, Jordan James is the team. So what is this going to be? Obviously done at quarterback. Could be done at running back at this point. Maybe you want one more receiver. I think it's kind of best available. Like, I think I could use help at running back, receiver, and tight end, but none of them are like dire. Like, I think I could be done at any of them. So I think it is probably best available for me. How are your teams looking? Billy in here goes Bijan at the 4, Jonathan Taylor, Lamar, DK Metcalf, Zay Flowers, Jawan Jennings, Stephon Diggs, Emeka Egbuka, Mark Andrews, David Njoku, Najee Harris, 124. That feels a little bit steep for Najee Harris right now. Marvin Mims, Tyler Algier, Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Wright, DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Austin, Keaton Mitchell. So you got Rodgers with Calvin Austin and DK Metcalf, Lamar with Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers and DeAndre Hopkins and Keaton Mitchell. All right. Nice and correlated. And Pat Fryermuth added onto the Pittsburgh stack. Looking good. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think either one or maybe got second in the DK Melee. I forget what Cash did last year. Had some big win. Last night it was Felix in the drafts, who won a few years ago. The Sharks are out. All right, let's see. Oh, Jalen Naylor. That is someone that Scott swayed me on. I'll probably move Jalen Naylor ahead of Ty Felton. Might go Higbee here. Kind of like to Corey Grusky Merritt. Don't mind Theo. Do I have any? No real late round flyers for the quarterbacks I have. Don't really do Parker Washington. Hey, Sean Tucker is there. I just talked him up. Yeah, I'll do that. I like Sean Tucker. So there you have it. The final team is 3773. Nico Collins, Brian Thomas Jr., George Kittle, Omarion Hampton, Kenneth Walker, Rome Odunze, Jordan Addison, Ricky Pearsall, Brock Purdy, Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, Christian Kirk, Brenton Strange, Trey Benson, Josh Palmer, Tank Bigsby, DJ Giddens, Jordan James, Tyler Higbee, and Sean Tucker is the team. I like that one. I actually feel pretty good about that one. Thank you, Pepper Tony. Yeah. I'll see you in the streets for sure, Pepper Tony. I'll be around drafting. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, would appreciate it if you subscribe. Commenting under the video always helps out quite a bit. If you would do that, it is helpful. Would appreciate it. Liking, of course. If you want to get notifications when I go live, you can click that little notification bell. I don't know if I'll be live tomorrow. I know I will be live on Monday with Mathology. I will be posting at least 6 videos on this channel coming up, just short draft reviews. So not live streaming, just like I'll do some drafts. I will post shorter reviews of those drafts in the next day or so. Also going to be posting a couple Twitter threads today and tomorrow. Like I said, I've mentioned several of the guys already on the stream, but I'm doing a short thread on some of my favorite 20th round picks on DraftKings who don't get taken, who get taken in under 30% of drafts. So players are just going to have low ownership on DraftKings. Going to do a little bit of a thread on that that I think I'll post tonight. I don't know what the other thread is going to be, but I'll be posting another thread on DraftKings Best Ball tomorrow. So a lot of content coming out. Check it out on the channel and on my Twitter at PlayerQDFS. That's going to do it. Anybody else want me to sauce your team? Anything like that? Thank you, Billy. I guess I know that you're here, Billy. I'll read off the team. I just read it off, but I'll read it off again. Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Lamar Jackson, DK Metcalf, Zay Flowers, Jawan Jennings, Stephon Diggs, Emeka Egbuka, Mark Andrews, David Njoku, Najee Harris, Marvin Mims, Tyler Algier, Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Wright, DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Austin, Keaton Mitchell, Pat Freiermuth, and Kyle Monangai. Really nicely correlated team. Looks good. You've got your quarterbacks mega stacked up. You got game stacks going on. I think maybe not. I don't think you have any Green Bay or anything. So no like week 17 game. I don't know the week 15, 16 matchups, but at least very intercorrelated with your quarterbacks. Yeah, and it's what's the final number? 2783. With an elite quarterback, totally fine to go with 2. Even with Aaron Rodgers as your second quarterback, generally a little bit scary, but not when you have Lamar Jackson. I think that looks good. K-Sizzle is here. There we go. K-Sizzle is a 3-7-7-3 team. AJ Brown, Ladd McConkey, Marvin Harrison, Jalen Hurts, James Conner, Sam Laporta, Tony Pollard, Jordan Mason, Tyrone Tracy, Tyjae Spears, CJ Stroud, Dallas Goedert, Geno Smith, Wan'Dale Robinson, Nick Chubb, Will Shipley, Dante Thornton, Dalton Schultz, Trey Tucker, and Jermaine Burton. So is this just late stacking with Geno? So you've got Geno with Thornton and Tucker. I can't figure out Trey Tucker because he's often a sidekick recommendation for me, and I'm not seeing it. I KB off of that one quite a bit. Just like looking at his numbers from last year, a little bit more uncertainty with the rookies coming in. Maybe he still has a role this year. Maybe I'm undervaluing it because I think he returns kicks, so maybe he's like guaranteed to make the roster. So maybe I just need to be sold on it a little bit, but I cannot get myself to do the Trey Tucker click. Then you got Hurts with Brown. Love that. Hurts a pretty strong value here. Throw on Goddard. Looks good. Do we have any game stacks with either of those two? The Eagles play... I'm blanking on. Who do they play week 7? Oh, they played the Buffalo. So no Giants. I don't think any Buffalo. Which is... yeah, whatever. CJ Stroud paired up with... anybody? Schultz. Okay. I'm guessing you were hoping to get Jalen Noel. Where did Jalen Noel go? Oh, he went 176. So he went a little bit early. Oh, pick after yours. So you went Nick Chubb over Jalen Noel, right? I think you need to sell me on Nick Chubb. Maybe not. I guess Nick Chubb. I haven't taken him a ton, but I guess I get it. Like he's probably the RB2 there. I don't hate that. You know, several of the running backs that I love, Pollard, Mason, Tracy, I'm fine with. Spears seems like a great pick there. Oh, so you doubled up on Pollard and Tyjae Spears. I don't think I mind that. I think like where'd they go? I think totally reasonable to pair those two up. Will Shipley, strong pick. Yeah, I think it looks good. Jermaine Burton, final round. I know Reeves is super in on him. Love the start. Oh, AJ Brown in the first round. I didn't even notice that. That's a little bit unique. Are you? I assume you're playing with. Are you playing with combos, K-Sizzle? Is that why you went with AJ Brown, Lad McConkey? Because I would imagine that is like super unowned, because nobody's taking them at the 1-2 turn. Like, it's just not going in the first rounds. Yeah, it's an interesting one to go for that combo. I'm guessing it's super rare. Yeah, and like no reason AJ Brown can't return round 1 value. Looks good to me. All right, let's see. Thank you, Fact74. Good to see you here. Thanks, Charlie. All right. 55% Wicks. Okay. You're a madman. No, I like it. Like, having conviction on 19th, 20th round players, I think totally fine. I don't take that much because there are several late round flyers that I like. But yeah, if you just like think he's the best pick, it's your team, you're going to watch them, have at it. Seems fine. All right. That is going to do it for this stream. Appreciate you all very much. This is a lot of fun hanging out. We'll have to do this again very soon. I would like to. It was kind of fun to do it on my own. I always love having guests. Obviously, it's really fun to pick people's brains, but also pretty cool to be able to do this on my own. No, not at all. Not at all. Two meals. It's good to have you here. Thanks for subscribing. Hopefully I'll see you on another one soon. All right. Thanks everybody. Catch you later.